Okay, I think we're live. I know I start every single one that we do kind of like that, right? Like, I think we're live. This one, genuinely, because I actually, hold on. Ah, crap. Not quite ready to go. I got a new computer. Well, I upgraded my computer, but I upgraded basically everything on my computer, minus the drives themselves. So it's like it's a new motherboard and everything. It's a new motherboard. It's a new graphics card. It's a new it's a new case. It's a new fan system. It's a new cooling system. Everything in this computer is new except for the drives, and even then, there's a couple actually new drives in it. So, unfortunately. I'm a little disoriented right now because I have to kind of reset up everything, which is kind of obnoxious, but you know, it is what it is. So bear with me as I get started back up again, because I got to make sure that we get everything to where it's supposed to go. But So I was able to get my overlay set up, like OBS. I was able to get this set up like I normally do. However, why is that clipping so badly? How's my audio? Because according to this, my audio is clipping terribly. Can you guys? What if I turn that down a little bit? How's that? Okay, that's good. Okay, it's not still clipping a little bit. There we go. That should be better. And we're gonna go ahead and take the webcam audio off. So we got the microphone audio, and hopefully that doesn't sound... Mikey says I sound louder, yeah. And that, by the way, is not working. So I don't have the live chat thing up. So apologies if... I might not be able to put people's comments on the screen for this particular one, because everything I had on the old... the old way the OBS worked is completely gone right now. I had a whole second set of scenes that I set up for live chat. So anyway, Mikey, I see you, and I see you, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's going on, everybody? I unfortunately may not be able to put you up on the screen for this particular broadcast, but I will try to get it back for the next one. So anyway, we are here. I told you I'd try to do the AFC games. It's definitely going to have to be pretty much exclusively the AFC games. I got too much to do this weekend. I will try to get to whatever it is next week. The Bills-Chiefs game, I will try to get to that next week. Next week. Tomorrow. I will try to get to that tomorrow, but I may not actually be able to get to it. So let me go ahead and get signed into this game so we can actually do stuff. Working on the Windows 11 operating system now, so I'm going to have to get used to how that whole thing works. Hey, John, what's going on? I see you, John. John, just so you know, I may not be able to put you up on the screen during this particular broadcast, but we will be bringing that feature back as soon as possible. I just, OBS is completely brand spanking new for me again. I lost all of the things that I had up here, so we're going to have to get back to that. Mark says echo. Why is it doing that? Audio capture device. Maybe that? How's that? Is that better? How's that audio going? Because I've got audio input capture, and then I've got mic/aux, which I guess I didn't need to add that. Maybe I can take that away later. I don't know. But, Mikey says it's better now? Okay. Alright. Well, I'm glad it's better now. Alright, let's bring this game up. I'm sure it's probably already started. Yeah. So I added an audio input, but I guess it automatically adds microphone. So again, I have to reset up all this stuff in the first place. So bear with me if there's a few hiccups. Looks like the game has started. So the most recent play was a pass to Nico Collins that got batted away by the Ravens. So bear with me as I get set up over here. Mikey says it was hurting my ears. Sorry about that. You hear the game. Ah, crap. Hopefully that fixed it. All right, CJ Stroud's going to take a lot of pressure, but he's going to get out of it. But unfortunately, it was third down, and he picks up about 7 yards, but it's not enough, so the Texans are going to have to punt. CT says, I know you don't like the Texans because they beat us a few times in the playoffs, but you can at least root against the Ratbirds, right? Yes, CT, that is correct. I don't want to see the Texans win because, of the, what happened in the playoffs and Red Ryder BB Gun and JJ Watt and everything like that. But, and CJ Stroud with Ohio State and everything like that. But I will absolutely put that prejudice to the side to support my other prejudice, which is fuck the Ravens. So, all right, so it's going to be a punt. It's going to be a return from about the 15-yard line. The Texans eventually get to him after he returns it down to about the 24-yard line. So that is where the Ravens are going to set up after the Texans' drive did not work out so well. Mikey says Texans to the Super Bowl. Well, they are going to have to do better than they did on that drive, Mikey, if they're going to go to the Super Bowl. But I don't know. I think it's going to be the Bills. The Bills just feel like the team that's got the best momentum to me right now. I don't really buy the Chiefs. I will have to see with the Ravens. I just haven't really seen it in the playoffs yet, which is why I predicted the Texans would win this game. I think the Texans have the best momentum right now. Or, the Bills have the best momentum. But the Texans are probably pretty close. All right, Lamar Jackson's going to hand the ball, or fake the handoff, faked me out, to Gus Edwards, and he doesn't really, or that might have been Justice Hill, actually. Either way, he gets about 5 yards out of it. It was an option, and he chose to keep it, and they might have gotten a couple extra yards out of it as opposed to what otherwise would have happened, but didn't really do a whole lot there.
No, you need to come here. You need to stop throwing snowballs at the dog.
Apparently my son is throwing snowballs at the dog. Oh, man. Who do you think, John says, who do you think and want to win the AFC? It's the same team. I want the Bills to win the AFC, and I think they're going to. Lamar Jackson, he's going to throw off his back foot, but he gets the ball to Zay Flowers, and that's going to be a first down for the Ravens. So they're doing better than the Texans on this drive. But yeah, I think it's going to be the Bills. I think the Bills are going to go to the Super Bowl, and I also want it to be the Bills. So but that's maybe there's a little bit of wishful thinking going on there. As you guys know, I try to be objective. But I feel like the Bills have the best momentum right now. That's in general when it comes to predictions of this nature. I generally, take a lot of account of momentum into the factor because whether okay, hold on, Justice Hill takes the handoff and the Texans swallow him up, he maybe gets a yard. But whether you want to believe that momentum's a real thing that really exists or not, I'm not entirely sure I think it's a real thing that really exists. But when we're talking about analyzing what's happening in football, that might not be the best word for what's going on, but it is a pretty succinct way of explaining, why I predict things the way I do. And I tend to be right more often than I'm wrong. So I think the Bills have the best momentum. But we'll see. It's hard to bet against the Chiefs just because of how many times they've done it, Unfortunate that I can't click on any of these. Lamar Jackson takes a shotgun snap. He's got some pressure, so he rolls out right, and he's going to take it and run with himself. And he ends up getting almost a first down, not quite. He's going to be about an inch or two short. At least I assume. I sure hope they make the right call there. Blue Kitty goes roar. I was so happy the Rams lost. I'm sure you are, John. I'm sure you are. I would be too if I was from St. Louis, I was also happy to see Stan Kroenke go home. Oh, they actually gave him the first down. I don't know about that, but it is going to be 1st and 10. I have a list of all 32 teams who I like more. Than who, Mikey? All 32 teams you like more than who? Because there's only 32 teams. I don't know. Lamar Jackson takes a shotgun snap. He's going to fake the handoff. He bounces around, throws, and it's over the middle, and it's caught by Odell Beckham Jr. down to the 40. That's going to be another Ravens first down. So, Texans better step it up, man. Texans not looking so good to start this game. To be fair, Andy Dalton would never have won a Super Bowl unless he was in this San Francisco offense in his prime. Well, yeah, sort of. I think if he didn't get hurt in 2015, there's a chance the Bengals go on a run that year. I'm not saying that would have happened. In fact, actually, I think, in general, my opinion is that wouldn't have happened. But there's a chance it could have. Lamar Jackson's going to keep it himself, and he actually goes down behind the line. So he's going to lose about 3 yards. He almost juked the guy out, but the last second he grabbed his leg and he went down. So, There's some actual defense from the Texans. Looks like they're going to give him a loss of 2 on that play. Saints will win the Super Bowl in 2044, says Mikey. Kind of hard to project out that far. I mean, you never know. I don't know what's going to be going on in 2024. That's what, like, 2 or 3 generations of like, of like teams in the future. Lamar Jackson takes a shotgun snap. He's got a little bit of pressure, and he overthrows Gus Edwards. And so it's going to be 3rd and 12. And perhaps the Texans can get off the field here. Perhaps they can get off the field here, which would be really nice for their hopes to maintain, what do you call it? Here, you know what I'm going to do? Since I can't do this anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pop out the chat. I'm going to put that over here, go back to the game. On 3rd and 12, the Ravens are coming out here. Okay, a couple extra comments here I'll get to here in a second. Lamar Jackson takes a shotgun snap on 3rd and 12. He winds up, he throws, it's caught, but not enough for a first down. He's going to get it all the way out to number 7, which I believe is Rashad Bateman. What is going on out there? Hey! What's going on out there?
They're fighting.
Well, stop them. I'm recording.
Sorry, I don't want to get in between them.
Well, you can stop them, though. They're not going to eat you. Good pressure on Lamar Jackson there, and so the Texans managed to get off the field, sort of. The Ravens are going for a long field goal attempt here. At 53 yards, Justin Tucker should probably hit this, right? Right? He can't possibly miss this. There's no way Justin Tucker misses this. All right, the kick is up, and as I said, it's good. May or may not have been trying to pull the Brandon Perna thing there, but, didn't work out. Didn't work out. 3-0 Ravens. All right, well, I mean, it's still better than what could have happened there, I suppose. All right, so let's see some of these comments. The winner of, according to Mark, the winner of tonight's game will lose next week. For one reason, Kirk Cousins. What? What does Kirk Cousins have to... What does Kirk Cousins have to do with anything? The winner of tonight's game is going to play probably the Bills... Well, definitely the Bills or the Chiefs. My guess is they'll play the Bills. What does Kirk Cousins have to do with the Bills? Or the Ravens? Or the Texans? Or the Chiefs, for that matter? I don't know. You're going to have to explain that one, Mark. I was super happy when the Rams lost. I'm sure you were, Mikey. Yes, for different reasons. But yeah, I can imagine. CT says, I would love a Bills-Texans championship. 2 eternal underdogs duking it out. Okay, I'm going to get rid of that because that's just annoying in my way. Okay, yes. It is annoying and in my way. I would love a Texans-Bills championship. 2 eternal underdogs duking it out. How about a Bengals championship? Wait a minute. Oh, okay, AFC Championship. Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting, but Texans, Bills, yeah, that would be my ideal situation too. Not because I'm, underdogs, but for me, I want to see that because I don't want to see the Ravens or the Chiefs for that matter. So, yeah, no, I agree with your assessment, but for slightly different reasons. Mikey says, I have a list of every team, and I put who I like from 1 to 32. I could probably do that. I'm not going to do it on stream right now, but I don't know, it might be fun. Might be a fun, power ranking stream that I could do or something like that, but, who do I like from 1 to 32? I mean, I could probably tell you, how I feel about teams, from that perspective. Who's at 32? The Steelers. Who's at 31? Probably at this point, the Chiefs. I think I dislike the Chiefs more than I dislike the Ravens at this point. As weird as that sounds to say. Or the Browns, actually. I think actually, I don't know. It's hard to say, because, ever since I started the Battle of Ohio podcast, I've kind of, the Browns have, I want to say the Browns have grown on me, but, Thomas definitely makes me, dislike the Browns less, just because I like Thomas. So, yeah, historically I've always disliked the Browns more, because there's more of a historical rivalry there, right? Ravens fans are really obnoxious, though. But I think I would still say that I probably dislike the Browns more. Because Browns fans are also mostly pretty obnoxious. Just because Thomas is cool doesn't mean they all are. All right, so that's going to be a touchback for the Ravens, and the Texans will get the ball at the 25-yard line. Mark says no, the NFC Championship game. Because no team that loses to Kirk Cousins makes a Super Bowl in the same season. Oh, I see what you. I understand what you're saying now, Mark. You're saying whoever wins the NFC, the winner of tonight's game. Okay, I'm not not gonna lie. I completely forgot there was a game other than this one happening tonight. So fair enough. So what would you say? The winner of tonight's game will lose next week because they lost to Kirk Cousins. I mean, Kirk Cousins isn't a bad quarterback, man. All right, shotgun snap. CJ Stroud rolls back. He throws. It's caught by Devin Singletary, and I think he picked up the first down. If not, he might be like an inch short. But I think they're going to give it to him. So who's playing tonight? It's 49ers and Packers. You think whoever I don't know. I mean, if the Packers win, I can't imagine they're going to go all the way to the Super Bowl. That just seems kind of wild to me. But the 49ers, like, I don't really care that they lost to Kirk Cousins. They were injured, man. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't read too much into anything that happened to the 49ers in the regular season, really. Then again, you could make that argument to say maybe, they won't, do a whole lot at the same time. So, all right, they did give him the first down. This is going to be a handoff this time, but the Ravens are all over that. Devin Singletary goes nowhere. He gets pushed back quite a bit, but I think forward progress is going to be a no gain. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, Mark. I wouldn't read too much into losing to Kirk Cousins in the regular season, though, especially for the 49ers. Now, the Packers, I have trouble believing. Like, I was shocked that the Packers won last week because, like, I don't think the Packers are all that good. But, yeah. Mikey says Saints play the Browns next season. Well, all right, CJ Stroud dumps the ball off short, and that's... Man, the Texans' offense is broken right now, guys. Ravens' defense is all over them. John says 32 Rams. I'm sure. I'm sure that the Rams would be 32 for you. 0 at the top would be whoever's playing them. It's fair enough. Do you have a favorite team, John? Because I imagine you used to be a Rams fan, right? So do you have a team that's like your favorite team now? Just curious. CJ Stroud takes a shotgun snap, steps back, and he escapes, and he throws, and it's caught by Devin Singletary. What a throw by CJ Stroud, and what an adjustment and a catch by Devin Singletary as well. That was an incredible play. It looked like the Ravens had him dead to rights. Oh my God, CJ Stroud, what a play. He actually runs into his own guy, manages to reset and outrun the defensive tackle, number 98 there, and then he finds a man and he throws it in really the only place that he can catch it, which wasn't particularly catchable by Devin Singletary anyway, and he still comes back and he makes the catch. There's a flag on the next play, and it's probably a false start. Yeah, it's a false start, but, like, I mean, and that sucks for the Texans, but, like, guys, that was an incredible play by CJ Stroud. Like, and I hate to admit it because, like, you know how I feel about Ohio State, but holy crap, what a play. Holy crap, what a play by CJ Stroud that was. By the way, did you hear about this pit in Buffalo? Huh? Did I hear about what about Pittsburgh and Buffalo? They lost. They got their asses kicked. I heard about that. CJ Stroud shotgun snap. He's going to throw to Dalton Schultz, and that's not a first down. What am I saying? It's like a 7-yard pickup, but it was like first and 20. So, no, I'm sorry, it's 1st and 15. So now it's going to be 2nd and 6. So it's a good play. Just doesn't really only really picks up about half the yardage. It's like if they had gotten a 4-yard play on first down without the penalty, which still would have been good. If you get 4 yards every time, then you're going to eventually get in the end zone. But it's also not an incredible play by any means. Mikey picked the Packers to win last week. Well, that's great for you, Mikey. I did not think that was going to happen. CJ Stroud just throws the ball away with immediate pressure. And the Ravens are calling for intentional grounding. It's not looking like they're going to get it. He's also doing this. Like, I don't quite know. The refs are talking about it, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see what they're gonna do. The refs are pretty vehemently talking about it, and I think I might agree. I think it might be intentional grounding, but we'll see if they give it up. Yep, they're throwing the flag. There it is. There it is. Yep. I think that's the right call. I thought it was weird that they didn't call intentional grounding in the moment. So I don't like it, but I agree. Let's see the replay here, but I would almost definitely assume this is probably correct. Yeah, he threw it. There was nobody in the area. It was like, I mean, it got out of the pocket. That's about all you can really say there. Like, that was so clearly intentional grounding. The fact that they had to even talk about it was crazy. John Jansen liked Manning, I don't like Manning, so we're not going to agree on that one. So Colts and Broncos, vacation in Tampa area, so go Buccaneers. Well, there you go. We can agree on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now. Not all time. I haven't always been a big fan of the Buccaneers, but lately, with Brady and Baker, I've been a fan of that. There's another flag, and the Texans are going backwards again after another false start. Oh my God, the Texans were in field goal range, and now they're just shooting themselves in the foot. Come on, Texans. Holy God, dude. That Baltimore crowd must be rattling them because they are sloppy. They are sloppy right now. That is not a good football game so far by the Houston Texans. I didn't see him move, but maybe he twitched or something. I couldn't quite see it. It's going to be 3rd and 21 after all that. So now you just hope to God maybe you can get back in field goal range. Shotgun snap for CJ Stroud. He's going to get pressure, and he throws. It's going to be out of bounds, though. So there's nothing there. And the Texans, after all that, are going to have to punt. My God. My God. What a just disastrous series of events for the Texans. What a disastrous series of events for the Texans. Mikey says, I know a Cowboys fan, he said their game would be over at halftime last week, and he was right. Well, you know what, Mikey? I wouldn't have disagreed with him. I thought the Cowboys were going to kill the Packers, and that did not happen. So, I don't blame him. Now, he's a Cowboys fan. He's probably being a homer about it, but I would have tended to agree with him. So that's nuts. Jordan Love is starting to come on, and that's not great for the rest of the NFC. That's kind of scary if you're the rest of the NFC, because the Packers, go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, and now if Jordan Love has arrived, that's scary. That's scary. If Jordan Love has arrived, that's scary for the NFC. I wouldn't want to be an NFC team right now if Jordan Love has arrived. Because it's oh my God, can we please get rid of this Packers team? For the love of God. Packers fans got to be pretty happy, though. Lions just moved way up since they beat L.A. Yeah, well, there you go, John. I mean, they're not always going to beat L.A., so, you never know. Not always going to beat L.A., so, they're not always going to be playing L.A., but fair enough. No Bills fans are supposedly sacrificing members of their fan base to Pitt, where their new stadium is being built to win playoff games because one guy fell into it and they beat the Steelers. What the fuck? What do you mean he fell into the new stadium? Did he die or something? That's unfortunate. Yeah. Yikes. I hope he didn't die or something, because then that's not really funny. We can say Buccaneers are your favorite team. Well, there you go, John. So I guess you're a Buccaneers fan. It's fair enough. If the Bengals moved, I don't know if I would be a fan of another team. I don't know. I would probably be more similar to you, where you're just kind of bouncing around and just kind of kind of blowing with the wind, because why would I be loyal to a team if a team can't be loyal to me? That's how I am. Kind of more or less with the NBA. I don't really watch the NBA as much as I used to, because they got rid of my team, so I can't I just can't sit down and condone that. So I don't really have a team anymore. I will get really interested in. Is this coffee?
It's hot chocolate coffee.
Oh, thank you.
Bart, come on.
Best wife, everybody. Hot chocolate coffee, huh? I see. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think I would be a fan of another team because like it would just be. I wouldn't. The thing about the Bengals is like I can't quit the Bengals, and like as much as like sometimes I might want to quit the Bengals, and it would just make sense to not be a Bengals fan anymore. I can't quit the Bengals because you know why? I've already put way too much like time and effort into it, and just being a fan of another team wouldn't feel the same, you know. Like I wouldn't have all that childhood like memory and everything like that. So it's pretty much Bengals or bust for me, you know. Gus Edwards going to take the handoff, and he picks up about 4 yards, something like that. So I mean, if this were like anything other than like a sports team, like your favorite sports team, I would say that's like toxic behavior, you know. But at the end of the day, it's just football. Who really cares? But like I can't quit the Bengals because like I would rather be somebody with no team than move on from the Bengals to it. Like if I were to ever give up on the Bengals, I just wouldn't pick a new team. It wouldn't feel the same, you know. I might root for different teams the way I do when the Bengals are eliminated, but all right, it's going to be another handoff, and he's only going to pick about 3 yards there, so it's going to be 3rd and 3. So the Texans have a chance to force the Ravens to go 3 and out here if they can stop them, but yeah, just don't know if that's going to happen. Don't quite know if that's going to happen. Yeah, I don't want to sit here and say like, I would just like pout, like I wouldn't be a fan of another team because I'm like, well, they took like my team. But at the same time, like honestly, I might be part of it. It's actually going to be 3rd and 2. They gave him an extra yard. Although really only a half yard. Anyway, Lamar Jackson's going to take the shotgun snap. He's going to roll back and he's going to try to throw. There is a flag on the play. And it's an incomplete pass. I feel like this is probably going to be holding on the Ravens, and it's probably going to be declined because of the incomplete pass. Unless it's holding on the Texans, that would be terrible for them. God, if the Texans get called for like a penalty here, then I'm not sure they deserve to win this football game. Although the Ravens' offense is going off the field, so it's probably on the Texans. Yeah, they're calling it on the Texans or on the Ravens. So it was holding on John Simpson of the Ravens. So not that it mattered because the pass was incomplete. Almost an incredible one-handed catch there. That was almost like similar to how awesome that CJ Stroud play was from earlier, but he couldn't quite make it actually happen. And then there was holding on the play anyway, so it would have gotten negated. But I mean, that was a pretty good escape by Lamar Jackson. Not quite as impressive as CJ Stroud's escape, but it was still, he got to the outside and at least made a play sort of happen. So there's a flag on the punt. Let's see what the flag on the punt is. They're calling it on the Ravens, which is unique. Usually it's on the receiving team. If it's on the Ravens, though, that'd be good for the Texans. Give them good field position. Defense starting to take over that game for what it's worth. All right, holding on the Texans. So I guess I was wrong. They were pointing toward the Ravens. But yeah, it's holding on the Texans, so that's going to back them up a little bit. Okay, what have I missed so far? Mikey says, John, no. Sorry, Mikey. So there's just too many people rooting for the Bucs around you, Mikey. You're in an unfortunate situation. Kylie Hoffman says, my live stream got taken down. I can't go live again. Why is that, Kylie? You have like a copyright problem or something like that? Which is, by the way, that's why I'm so careful to not have any sort of copyright thing happening at all on my stream. I appreciated when people told me there was like audio, so I didn't get taken down to like having the audio get copyright striked, but I don't want to have the stream taken down, So yeah, but why did your stream get taken down, Kylie? Go Bills. Okay. John, we won't have that. I'm sure we won't. Wasn't deep enough to hurt him. Okay, well, I'm okay. Okay, I guess since if he's gonna be okay, then okay, it's funny. It's funny as long as he's gonna be okay. NFC South. Cardinals are our baseball team here. Boo! I love them NFL Cardinals. Played cheer before my time. So could be the Cardinals, 49ers have good fantasy D. Also Rams, biggest rivals helps. Okay, so I can't condone being a fan of the 49ers personally because fuck the 49ers and they're beating us in the Super Bowl twice asses. And then the Cardinals just like I wouldn't commit too much to the Cardinals if they're going to be your favorite team. Like being a Cardinals fan can't be that much better than being a Bengals fan frankly. Like actually I would say being a Cardinals fan is worse because at least the Bengals have gotten like the Cardinals have gotten to the top of the hill and not won once. The Bengals have at least been 3 times, which I don't know. You could argue is more painful, but at least we've had more to. I feel like the Bengals have had more to cheer about over the years than the Cardinals have, personally. Mikey says I hate my sports life. Well, once again, dude, like. I understand where you're at, but like, you know, I would have loved, even if I wasn't like old enough to remember it, I still would have loved to at least say that like, hey, there was that one time the Bengals won a Super Bowl, so I can at least go back and watch highlights and stuff. So at least you had like an old Super Bowl memory you could go back and like reminisce on, even if your team wasn't like getting the job done. So, but I also get it. Like right now, the Saints aren't really particularly good. The Buccaneers are, you know, doing pretty well. So yeah, I can imagine why you wouldn't be terribly happy with the current state of things. All right, it's going to be a handoff to Devin Singletary, and he doesn't get hardly anything. What are they doing? Like, dude, this Texans offensive strategy is just not. This ain't it. This is terrible. This is a rotten way to go. I don't know who the offensive coordinator is, but he's not doing a good job today. Is this what Zach Taylor fans like are constantly thinking they're seeing when they're watching the Bengals play? Or Zach Taylor haters, sorry. CJ Stroud rolls out of pressure. He throws and it's oh my god! That was gonna be a catch for like 32 yards to Dalton Schultz, and he just bobbles it in. He's wide open. Bobbles it, just cannot come down with it. What on earth, bro? Dude, that was the worst. That might have been the single worst dropped pass I've ever seen in my life. Not in terms of like, obviously I've seen drop touchdown passes before, but like in terms of like, you should have had that. I can't imagine. Like the only thing worse is if like if like you're literally just drops cradling in your hand like this and you somehow drop it. That's the only thing I can imagine that would be worse. And I've never seen that before. So that's got to be about like the most egregiously drop pass I've ever seen in my life before. Nico Collins is going to get a quick, what looks like a screen pass without an actual screen. And he picked up a first down out of that. So, you know, I guess he didn't need a screen. But there was no actual screen set up. Like they dumped it off short to him in the same position you would expect out of a screen pass. And then he just charges forward like you would with a screen pass. But there was nobody screening. Oh my god, are we going to get another false start by the Texans? Oh my god, it's another false start for the Texans. Every time they do something of any value, they just like shoot themselves in the foot. Like this Texans team, dude, like I don't think they're ready for the big stage. Like this is kind of what I'm saying. Like I think the way this game's going, it's definitely not going to be as high scoring as I thought it was. But I think this Texans team can be scrappy enough to take down the Ravens. But this is why I don't think they're going to the Super Bowl. They're too young. I don't think that they're going to be able to be consistent enough for long enough to get the job done. And just the penalties are a great example. CJ Stroud, with all the time in the world, throws it to Dalton Schultz, and it's a really insanely easy pass, and he catches it this time. Wow. Okay, and that goes for like 20 yards. So after the false start, they end up getting the first down anyway. So that works out. Down to about the 29-yard line. All right. Okay, Kylie says, due to a violation of community guidelines. Well, what was the violation? Like, I mean, if it was was somebody like, you know, cussing in your chat or something and they didn't like it? Because, I mean, like, I cuss on this show all the time and they don't take my streams down. All right, CJ Stroud's going to dump it off short, and that actually is a screen and barely does anything to Devin Singletary. The Ravens are bullying Devin Singletary, dude. He got like 2 yards out of that, but it's going to be 2nd and 8. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can start partying in New Orleans. Well, not right now, you can't. So nobody hates the Cardinals? Good, I can say the Cardinals are my favorite NFL team. I don't hate the Cardinals. I find the Cardinals kind of annoying because, like, I mean, I don't now because they're just bad, but, like, you know, when they had, like, Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray, like, at the beginning of that, everybody thought they were going to be amazing. CJ Stroud's going to fake the screen pass, and then he throws over the middle, and it's, oh my God, almost intercepted by Kyle Hamilton. That might have been worse than the Dalton Schultz drop. He had 3 opportunities to catch that, and he dropped every single one of them. Like, that was in his hand 3 different times, and he dropped it on the ground. That was a great deflection, too, by the Ravens. That was a really dangerous pass by CJ Stroud, though. He looks a little rattled right now. Like the Ravens, I think the Ravens pass rush. Listen to me sounding like fucking Chris Collinsworth. I think the Ravens pass rush is doing its job quite nicely today. CJ Stroud, this Texans team, I just really don't think that they have the moxie to go all the way. All right, and CJ Stroud just dirts it. Like, what are you doing? Why are you just dirting it? On 3rd and 8. Oh, it's delay of game. Okay. All right, never mind. I'm stupid. Okay, so they're going to get to replay the down at least. Dude, these Texans, man. It's going to be 3rd and 13 now. This Texans team, bro. This Texans, like, it's just penalty after penalty after penalty after penalty. I don't think either of these, I think whoever wins between the Bills and Chiefs is the team that's going to the Super Bowl. And that fills me with a little bit of dread to say, because it very well could be the Chiefs who win that game. But I think whoever wins that game is going to the Super Bowl. CJ Stroud takes a shotgun snap. He's going to roll out of pressure. He's going to throw to Nico Collins, but it's not a very good throw. It's going to be 4th and 13. So, I mean, they're still in field goal range, which is the nice part about it. But they just can't string anything consistent together. This Texans team is not ready. I'm telling you that right now. Like, credit to D'Amico Ryans for getting them to this point. I think he deserves to be Coach of the Year because of that. But I don't think there's been enough here for this Texans team to really pull together the way they need to. It's like can you imagine if things had gone a little bit better for the Bengals in Joe Burrow's rookie season, and they had just strung a few more wins out of all of those close games they had, and they made it to the playoffs. Like, this is a similar type of performance I would have expected out of that 2020 Bengals team, right? So maybe next year the Texans will be poised to go on a run for the Super Bowl because they'll be a little bit older, a little bit wiser, and not making like these stupid bumbling penalties. But I just don't know if this is their year to go on a run to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying it can't happen. I am saying I'd be pretty surprised, though. Okay, so who else we got going on? 0 people were in my chat. Well, then how could you have possibly violated the community standards, Kylie? That sounds crazy to me. I don't know if I would investigate into that. That doesn't sound like that should have happened. Okay, yeah, but anyway, yeah, I don't hate the Cardinals. I don't hate the Cardinals, but I did find it a little annoying when they had, like, Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler Murray, like, when that whole era first started, and people were saying, like, oh, the Cardinals are going to be, like, the next big thing, and I was like, what? The Cardinals? No. And yeah, exactly what I expected to happened, and they just, fell apart. They had a little bit of success, and they just mostly just didn't really do much of anything. I thought people were jumping way too quickly on that Cardinals bandwagon. All right. Field goal was good, by the way. I got too caught up responding to these comments. But anyway, it's going to be another kickoff, and this one's going to be returned from about the 7-yard line, and he cannot even get it out to the 25. So that's quite a very bad return. He gets it to the 24, so it's not catastrophic, but, like, you had 7 yards of extra room, bro, and you couldn't even get it past the 25. Like, that would have been better if it was a touchback, which is crazy to me. Okay, I kind of like not having a clear number 1 team. I can make mostly everyone happy just takes a couple of teams. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how into football I'd be if I didn't have like a team to base my footballiness around. Like, I mean, I'd probably still be interested in it because I've spent so much of my life being a huge fan. Lamar Jackson shotgun snap, and he's gonna like scramble up the middle, and he's down to the 40, 45. Wow, Texans just not paying attention on that one. He gets out to about the 48-yard line before he goes down. Got to pay attention, Texans. But yeah, I don't know if I could be as into football as I am if I didn't have a team to channel my fandom through. But like, I mean, I can also see the upside of it. If you like it, John, that's cool. I'm just saying, I don't think I could do it. I think if I lost the Bengals, whether I decided to stop being a Bengals fan, which I can't really see myself doing, or if the Bengals moved and then I'm not going to follow them to whatever city they moved to because I'm not going to condone that. So if one of those two things happened, I don't think I would probably. I mean, I don't know what would I do, because like right now I'm trying to build like a YouTube channel and stuff. If the Bengals left, I don't know. I'd probably still continue covering the NFL, and it would probably make it easier for me to cover the NFL, right? Because like I wouldn't be quite as focused on trying to put out Bengals content, because like that's really what I wanted to build the channel to do in the first place, is put out Bengals content. So it might be easier for me to like, you know, be like just kind of like analyzing the whole NFL, and I'd probably still do that because, you know, it's a skill set, and it's something I'm very knowledgeable about that, you know, I don't want to just like throw by the wayside. But I don't think I could be as passionate. Like the reaction, this would be more of an analysis. This would probably turn into more of an analysis channel, a history channel, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. More so than a reaction channel, because I just don't think my reactions would be as good if I didn't have a team to channel my fandom through. You know, I mean, you can see in these streams that I do. You know, there's a couple big plays that happen, like CJ Stroud's crazy play from earlier. You know, I mean that was, I would imagine that was a pretty good reaction there, but you're not going to get like the wild emotional swings that is really what, like, you know, probably 60% of like the most popular videos on this channel are, is just me having these wild emotional swings as it relates to the Bengals. You're not going to get that if, you know, I don't have a team. So I'd probably continue to try to do the channel, but it would definitely change a lot how I would approach it. Just partially just because I've already put so much effort into this channel. I don't want it to just drop off. Eagles will be 4-13 next season. That's not correct, Mark. Also, I mess with Kyle. Go Cardinals. You don't know what Cardinals I am talking about. No, you're talking about the St. Louis Cardinals, right? You're talking about you're talking about the St. Louis Cardinals when you're talking about like you're actively cheering for a team. You're talking about the St. Louis Cardinals. I thought earlier you might have been saying maybe you should root for the Arizona Cardinals, since, you know, you already root for the St. Louis Cardinals. So I figured that's who you're talking about. And you mess with me. There's not much to mess with, though, because, like, I mean, I'm a Reds fan by dint of I live in Cincinnati, but, like, as y'all know, I just can't do baseball. All right, pistol formation for Lamar Jackson. He's going to fake the handoff, look around, he's going to throw sidearm to Gus Edwards, who can't even get back to the line of scrimmage, and he loses about a yard. Very good defensive play by the Texans right there. I'm wearing my "this shit more than a game" shirt. That's fair enough, Mikey. I mean, it really is more than a game for those players out there. But for me, football is just a game. You know, like, I mean, like, I get really like excited when the Bengals do well and passionate about it because I want to see my favorite team do well. You know, it's fun. But for me, it's just a game. It's football. It's just football. You know, like it's fun, but it's just a game. It's not that serious. Lamar Jackson takes a shotgun snap. He rolls back. He's got some decent pressure, but not enough because he's going to get it out to Zay Flowers without seeming like he really paid attention to any of the pressure. And that's going to be about a 20-yard pickup for the Ravens. So after a great defensive play by the Texans, they just, you know, it looks like watching the Bengals defense out there. You know, great defensive play followed up by a big busted coverage. Terrible. 0 people were in my chat. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. There are such things as halftime adjustments. That there are. I don't see the Eagles going 4-13. I don't know what that has to do with halftime adjustments, but there you That's how I would be with the Saints. Yep. See, I just couldn't. I couldn't get really passionate about anybody. If the Bengals weren't the team. Gus Edwards going to take the handoff, and he picks up about 9 yards, and the Texans defense is starting to fall apart here. Kylie says, I'm going to read the community guidelines to find out why it got taken down. Yeah, like I said, I'd investigate that, Kylie, because it sounds like you couldn't have possibly done anything if you had 0 people in your chat. And, I mean, if you weren't, even if you were cussing on stream, I'm not saying you were, but even if you were doing something like that, if you were, you would have had to been, if nobody was in your chat, you would have had to been, making 9/11 jokes or something to, get your stream just straight up taken down. It must have been, some sort of, algorithm error or something like that. There you go, Texans. They get Gus Edwards in the backfield, and he gets no gain, so it's going to be 3rd and 1 now. So this Texans defense is very hit and miss, I'm noticing. They're either making great plays or terrible plays. Hopefully this next one's a great play. All right, it's going to be another handoff to Gus Edwards, and it's not a great play. He's going to get right through. He's going to slice through that line like Swiss cheese, picks up about 8 yards. Only needed 1, so it's going to be 1st and 10. Where are we in the comments? It's hard to tell because I don't have the thing that's telling me what were the last ones I put up on the screen now. By the way, I will be bringing that feature back. I just right now because I got a new computer, it's just completely depopulated everything for me. So I have to figure out how to set that up again, essentially. Mikey says, I have the best fandom reactions ever. You have pretty good fandom reactions, Mikey. Yeah, you do. You get pretty wild. Lamar Jackson throws it over the middle, and that is to number 88. I don't have my rosters up right now, so I'm not 100% sure who that is, but it's a tight end for the Baltimore Ravens that isn't Isaiah Likely, so I don't really know who the other guys are. The only 2 tight ends I know for the Ravens are Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews, and Mark Andrews is out for the year, so I don't know. This Eagles team gives me such 2021 Arizona Cardinals vibes. I don't know about that, because nobody expected the Cardinals to be juggernauts that year. I think everybody, the Eagles are a huge disappointment this year. When the Cardinals weren't good, I think everybody was like, all right, so it's going to be maybe a half-yard pickup for Gus Edwards there, so it's going to be 3rd and 5. But yeah, that 2021 Cardinals team, I think everybody expected them to eventually be good, but they didn't expect them to be in the playoffs right away. And the Eagles, on the other hand, I think everybody expected the Eagles to be really contending for the Super Bowl again, and to just come out and get smacked in round 1. I think that surprised a lot of people. So I didn't really get Cardinals vibes from that. Lamar Jackson's going to take it himself, and he's just going to run for it, and he gets down to the 2-yard line. This Texans team, dude, this Texans defense. Like I said, it's like watching the Bengals defense. It's kind of frustrating. John says, should I become a Cardinals NFL fan? I mean, you could. You can be a Cardinal. You can be a fan of whatever team you want to, and as long as it's not the Steelers, You can be a Chiefs fan. Just don't be a Steelers fan. If you're going to be a Steelers fan, be a Steelers fan. But I would definitely judge you for it. All right, Lamar Jackson, shotgun snap. Shotgun. What am I saying? He hands the ball off to Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards goes nowhere. So, cool, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know what to think about this Texans defense anymore, man. I meant halftime adjustments for the Texans. Well, I mean, the Ravens could get halftime adjustments too, Mark. Kylie says, I am 12. YouTube does not permit young minors to live stream without the supervision of adults, so that is why. No, Mikey's 14. I thought Mikey was 12. But no, Mikey, you're 14, aren't you? Yeah, so yeah, I probably can't do that, Kylie. All right, Lamar Jackson, shotgun snap, and he touchdown, Nelson Aguilar. Good God, Texans. God. All right, well. Texans offense is going to have to step up because, if you can't rely on the defense, then the offense has got to step up. And I'm not saying the defense is doing a bad job today. Obviously, they've had a pretty good game so far. But, Obviously, it's gonna require the offense to step up to some extent, which we know they're capable of. So I don't know. Maybe the Texans need to listen to the song to get hyped. You know what I'm talking about. I don't think Mikey. I know you get hyped by "We Are the World," but I don't. That's not a hype up song. Like that's not. I don't see people getting hyped up by that song. You know, that's a song for people to like come together and be peaceful and stuff. Like people who go out there like be violent and crush people are not going to be listening to "We Are the World" to get hyped up. That's like, you can like that song if you want, but if it hypes you up, that's cool. But I don't think most people are going to get hyped up by a song like that. Eagles collapse mirrors the Cardinals collapse. I don't think the Eagles collapse mirrors the Cardinals collapse at all. Because, like, the Cardinals were, like, an underdog, Like, the Cardinals were not expected to be, like, that good right away. They were building. People figured they'd be pretty good, in, like, a year or two. I don't think anybody expected them to be great right away, except for Zach Schomler. And, obviously, that didn't work out for him. But, like, it was surprising to see the Eagles just get roasted right away, because like I think most people coming into this year thought the Eagles were going to be like, like a really great team, and they just got roasted in the first round. So yeah, I don't agree with that analysis at all. I don't think it mirrors the Cardinals collapse at all. I think they were both collapses. That's the only similarity at all. It's the only similarity is that they were both collapses. That's it. In my opinion. John says, Steelers got a Super Bowl! Yeah, well, if they, as the great urinating tree so often says, they'll have to buy tickets. Just like every year. Boy, does that feel good to say, because there was a time where they were making my life misery. But now it's every year they got to buy tickets. And you know what? If my team can't be great, at least I can enjoy their misery. That's all I got. Let me have that. Mikey says Ohio State hired Bill O'Brien to be offensive coordinator. I heard about. I heard that was potentially happening. I didn't realize that was official though, Mikey. So that's that seems bad. But Bill O'Brien was pretty great in college, so maybe it works out. I don't know. By the way, y'all heard Marvin Lewis is expected to join Antonio Pierce with the Raiders, which is kind of crazy to me. I'm not sure if he's actually been hired yet or not, but he's expected to join, I guess, as a defensive coordinator. He has not yet been officially hired because this is saying he's still a special advisor to the head coach at Arizona State. So there's that. I don't know. I feel like Marvin Lewis. I feel like I'm a little surprised, unless Marvin Lewis just doesn't want a head coaching job. Ravens are going to kick the ball off to the Texans, and that is going to be returned from the 2-yard line, and he's going to make it out to the 15, to the 20. I can't quite get back to the 25, so not great returning in this game so far. But yeah, Marvin Lewis, I'm a little surprised that Marvin Lewis hasn't gotten a head coaching job. If he is willing to come back to the NFL and be like a defensive coordinator, I'm a little surprised that he hasn't gotten a head coaching job. Because, like, while I was ready to move on from Marvin Lewis personally as a Bengals fan, I still also, like, think we should put him in the Ring of Honor because, like, he did great things, like, by making us not the worst team in the NFL by a wide margin. Because, like, when he came in, the Bengals were a mess, and they were not a complete mess with him, which is way better than we ever thought they were going to be. Nice little end around here for Devin Singletary. He makes a couple guys miss, only gets about 7 yards out of it, but that's better than what he probably should have gotten. It was kind of like a jet sweep. I think it was a fake jet sweep. I think that's what happened. So I called it an end around, and it kind of was, but it was more of like a fake jet sweep is what happened there. Mark says, wait, Nelson Aguilar is still in the league. Yeah, he's like the fourth receiver or something for the Ravens. He's not like all over the place, but he's there.
CJ Stroud with some decent pressure. He's going to dump it off short to Devin Singletary, who I think he managed to get the first down there. Refs are going to mark him a little short, but I think that's a bad spot, personally. Refs are going to mark him a little short, and he did get tackled around there, but I think he stayed off the ground long enough to get that ball across the line. So I would challenge this if I was the Texans. But I don't know. I guess we're not going to get to see a replay. Maybe I'm wrong. All right, Devin Singletary, that time he definitely does not get the first down. So number 50 of the Ravens takes him down, and it's going to be 4th and 1, and now the Texans are going to have to punt again. And this is starting to turn into not good for the Texans because unless they're going to come out with some amazing halftime adjustments, this is problematic. Because if the Ravens' offense starts heating up and the Texans' offense can't do anything, this is going to be a long game for them. It'll be a long, long game for the Texans if they can't heat up. Texans' defense is going to need to come up with some sort of turnover or something, I think. I mean, it's 10-3. It's not like the end of the world. It's just the tide is definitely starting to turn pretty heavily away from the Texans' favor here. All right, so it's going to be fair caught around the 21-yard line. Texans' defense has got to come up with something here to stay competitive in this game. Yeah, John. Yeah, that's pretty much the way I interpreted it in my head. Mark Kearns says both started 7-1, both finished the season 11-6, both got destroyed in the wild card round, both were 5 seeds. Yeah, but I'm not. Look, I understand it was a similar type of thing that happened, but I'm saying like the vibes around those two teams were not the same. Like nobody was like, oh yeah, the Cardinals, they're like the Super Bowl favorites. Literally nobody was saying that the Cardinals are the Super Bowl favorites. Whereas like throughout various times this year, people were calling the Eagles Super Bowl favorites. So I mean that's the difference that I'm talking about. Yeah, the statistics looked pretty similar, but I did not feel personally, maybe you did, I don't know, but I did not feel the same way about that Cardinals team that I did about this Eagles team. I was a little surprised that they got handled in the divisional round the way they did. I mean, I was happy. I was rooting for the Buccaneers, but I thought personally it was a bit of a long shot that the Buccaneers were going to pull off that game. But maybe I was underestimating the Buccaneers. I was probably definitely overestimating the Eagles, but yeah, I was a little surprised to see the Eagles go down. I wasn't that surprised to see the Cardinals go down. I think as I recall, like we were doing the podcast predictions at the time, and I think Thomas picked the Cardinals, but I think I said there's like the Cardinals are about to get smoked. I think I actually said that verbatim on the podcast. Mikey says, remember when Zach Taylor was like Dennis Allen? Hold on. Okay. Remember when I said Zach Taylor was like Dennis Allen? I changed my mind and not for on-field performance. Yeah, I'm not sure why you ever thought that Zach Taylor was like Dennis Allen, Mikey. Like, unless you're saying, like, you thought that Zach Taylor was mediocre, which, I mean, I guess I can see where you're getting that concept. But, like, I mean, their coaching styles are completely different. They're completely different people. They speak completely differently. You know, like Zach Taylor is very much like a player's coach, and Dennis Allen's not like that at all. So, yeah, I think I remember you saying something like that, and I thought that was a little silly. Like, I mean, maybe I could see you at the time thinking you might see similar, like, records at the end of the day by them, but, like, maybe similar types of results. I didn't think that was going to be the case, but, you know, I can see where somebody might get that idea early in Zach Taylor's career. But I definitely push back from a stylistic perspective. I don't think that they're similar at all. I think you can find two more different NFL head coaches in terms of style. Lamar Jackson, shotgun snap, and he's going to be immediately sacked. That's what you want to see out of the Texans defense. I think he lost about 5, maybe 6 yards there. Depends on where they spot it. Okay, let's see. Where would I spot this? 21, and he gets up to about the 20. So, yeah, about a 5-yard loss, I'd say. About a 5 yards loss. 2nd and 16, so I guess I'm wrong. They're calling it a 6-yard loss. Maybe my math was just off, because they're putting it about where I thought they might put it. All right, Justice Hill avoids like 3 tacklers, man. He eventually goes down, doesn't quite get back to the original line of scrimmage, but the Texans should have had him for more of a loss than that. Like, the Texans are happy about the tackle, but like, I don't know about that, man. Like, that wasn't the best play in the world by the Texans there. 3rd and 11, you're going to need to step up on this play to not allow a first down. Hopefully you can get the ball back to your offense and give CJ Stroud a chance to maybe go tie this before the half, but you got to get off the field here. Like, if you want to have that in your arsenal, you got to get off the field here, I think. Is that going to be a false start? I think it's going to be a false start on the Ravens. Now, the Ravens are pointing out the Texans. It could be a neutral zone infraction because I saw somebody come across the line, but I think it was because the Ravens moved. Now, the Ravens are smiling and the Texans are pissed, so... Yep, they're calling it offsides. All right. Yep, it's going to be on the Texans. I don't even know what to say about this team, guys. Like, they're just shooting themselves in the foot over and over and over and over and over. And yeah, that was... I didn't see any Ravens players move. That was just a miscalculation entirely by King there. Terrible. Some people called Taylor Diet McVay. I think that's actually a pretty good comparison, honestly. Like Diet McVay. Yeah, I'll explain that here in a second. But wow, that's definitely a false start there by the Ravens. It's going to push them right back to where they were. Yeah, false start by the Ravens, so that's going to push them right back. I don't know what's that like. So it hasn't been really bad by the Ravens. It's been super sloppy by the Texans, but it hasn't been like the cleanest game by the Ravens either. So I don't know what's. This must be something in the air or something. I don't know. Jamar Chase, Minka Fitzpatrick, great cup. Lamar Jackson, shotgun snap. He's going to get a lot of pressure, and he's got people all over him, and he makes like 2 guys miss. Oh my God. And he does eventually get taken down. I think he gets technically across the line of scrimmage, so it's not going to count as a sack, but it is going to be 4th and 10, so that's pretty much what you want. It's sack or no sack. That's a good result from the play. But good God, tackle the guy. Holy crap. Got 98 there trying to, I think he's trying to cause a fumble, and he just ends up losing Lamar Jackson. Like, come on, bro. Man, worry about the tackle before you worry about making a big play. Like, they teach you that in Pop Warner. All right, so the punt is away, and it's going to be returned from about the 33-yard line. It's a bit of a hesitation there, but he finds a hole down to the 50, down the 40. He's loose. 30, 20, 10, and he's just going to walk into the end zone, and that is a punt return for a touchdown by the Houston Texans. And boy, that gives the Texans some life right there. There you go. All right. My voice cracked a little bit on that one, so that's rough. But the Texans get the job done through punting, which is nice because it didn't look like the offense was going to get anything done the way they've been playing. So give the ball back to the defense, which has been the better of the 2 units so far. So there you go. There you go. Tied up. We are tied. Well, actually, no, we're not tied up because it's 9. Still got to get the extra point. So hold on. Let's make sure they get the extra point here. From the 15-yard line, kick is up, and that's good. Okay, so now we can say 10. Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure. Just wanted to make absolutely sure before we just go saying that out of nowhere, you know? There we go. I think it looks right. What do we got here? We got, some people called Zach Taylor Diet McVay. I think that's a really good comparison, honestly, because I think Zach Taylor is I don't think he's an amazing coach. I think he's a really good coach, and I think people need to lay off him. I don't think he's an elite Andy Reid type of coach, you know, but I don't think the Bengals need that because they got Joe Burrow. You know, so I think Zach Taylor calling him Diet McVay, I think that's a pretty good way to put it, because he's not as aggressive as Sean McVay, but he has a lot of those same tendencies. His offensive scheme is very similar, hasn't been quite as successful. So yeah, Diet McVay, that's fine. And I think Diet McVay is fine for the Bengals. You know, they're looking to win because of Joe Burrow, not because of the head coach. You know, like the Bengals don't need, you know, Tom Landry to show up tomorrow. You know, like, I mean, would that help? Maybe, I don't know. It might cause a power struggle, honestly. Kylie says, I did 3 streams before today, and none of them got taken down all the same way. I mean, can you think of anything that happened during the stream that was weird, Kylie? I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. John says, there you go, Kyle. You should like that. Should like what? Oh, the punt return? Yeah, I like that. That was pretty good. It's good to see. Jim says penalties on Texans. Bro, I know, Jim. By the way, I think you're just joining us, so can't put you up on the screen right now because I got a new computer and all of my OBS stuff got deleted. So I am going to put the putting people up on the screen thing. That's going to be making a comeback, hopefully on the next stream that I do. But right now, I didn't have time to put it up. So that unfortunately I'm not able to put you up on the screen today, but we'll get back to that before too long. But I will at least read out your comment. But yeah, penalties on the Texans, like holy crap, dude. Like honestly, if the Texans were playing more disciplined football, they might be winning this game. Honestly, like if the Texans were a little bit more disciplined today, they might be winning right now. But unfortunately for them, I think that Baltimore crowd might be rattling them. I don't know, but they've been sloppy as all hell. Like sloppy as all hell. But now they tie it. It would be shocked with the upset. I wouldn't be shocked with the upset, dude. It's the Ravens. The Ravens in the playoffs. I just don't trust them. I just don't trust the Ravens in the playoffs. Not this era. All right, so the kick is away. And that is going to be a touchback for the Ravens. They're going to get the ball at the 25-yard line with 4:17 left to go in the second quarter. Did I update that? No, it still says quarter 1. My bad, guys. All right, quarter 2. Going back after going for the O, what did I miss? Well, Mikey, you missed... I'm not sure exactly where you left, but you missed the Texans getting a punt return for a touchdown. So that was pretty cool. And I don't know if that counts as the O, but whatever the case. I can look at the 8-minute stream to find out. Yep. I'd look at it, Kylie, because like that's just weird. I cannot think of a reason why you got taken down personally, but you know I haven't had a stream taken down, so maybe I'm not an expert in the material, but. All right, yep. Gus Edwards going to take the handoff, and he's going to get upended after about a 2-yard pickup. Good play by the Texans there. Jim says, no, think Ravens win. Sorry, Kyle. No, I mean, like, the Ravens are the better football team, honestly. I have trouble trusting the Ravens when it comes to the playoffs, so that's really what I'm going off of here. Plus, I think the Texans have a lot of momentum, and the Ravens... sort of do, but like not really. All right, Lamar Jackson's going to end up getting a ton of pressure on him. He gets the ball away, just barely gets it past the line of scrimmage, so he's going to avoid the intentional grounding call. That was like literally inches away from being intentional grounding. But he does get it there. Could have had like could have been sacked at like the... Oh my god, he could have been sacked down all the way back to like the 10-yard line there. It would have been a loss of like 18 yards. But he does get the pass off, and it does get just barely past the line of scrimmage. So, worked out. 3rd and 7. Come on, Texans. Come on, Texans. Lamar Jackson takes a shotgun snap. He rolls back. Decent pressure. It's up in the air, and it falls harmlessly. Could have been intercepted, but there wasn't a Texan really positioned quite perfectly for that one. But... nice batted pass in the air. Texans play good defense. They hold. And their offense is going to get the ball back with 3:26 left. So they might, potentially, if they can play some good offense here, they might potentially be able to take a lead before the half. And I don't think I was anticipating that. This is kind of what I was talking about, though, Jim. I think the Texans are scrappy. I think they got the momentum. And for the most part, when it comes to the playoffs, I make my picks based off of momentum. I don't make my picks typically based off of, like, you know, it's because, like, who's the better football team does matter, But at the same time, like, how teams are currently playing, I think really matters when it comes to like short runs, like you get with the playoffs. So right now, I just think the Texans have more momentum than the Ravens do, and so that's why I think the Texans are going to win. I think I can go ahead and say I was probably wrong about how many points are going to be scored in this game, because it's looking like it's going to be more like a both teams will probably be over 20 by the end of the day, but I don't think either one's going to get to 30. So that's basically the vibe I'm getting from this one. Mikey says, I started a show with my dad and changed the name to the Hurricane Mike and Dad Show. What happened to Hurricane Mike and the Real? Mikey says, I'm eating chicken right now. There you go, Mikey. I'm watching the Chick-fil-A commercials, so that's interesting timing. Flavor, flavor, flavor. You know, I don't think I've had this. Spicy chicken. I might have had the spicy chicken from Chick-fil-A. Can't remember if it was worth it or not. Probably not, because for me, like the whole appeal of Chick-fil-A for me is the fact that like, you know, their traditional like fried chicken at Chick-fil-A for their like. I actually, when I go to Chick-fil-A, I typically eat nuggets. Like, I'm not usually like a nuggets person. I'm usually like a sandwich person. But when I go to Chick-fil-A, I typically get the nuggets. Just because, like, you know, the way they do their frying and their breading and everything, I think is just like, it's the whole reason I go there. I wouldn't go there for any other reason, but like just the way they do their breading is just really, really good to me. And so, as I recall, the spicy chicken sandwich, I was like it kind of took away a little bit from from that bite you get out of the traditional fried, you know, style. I don't remember, but I think I had it, and I think I preferred the original. Like the original crispy style. That's a drive-through. Wait, no, hold on. What? That was a Target commercial talking about drive-through Starbucks. I don't have my sound on, so it's probably part of it. But, ooh. All right. Last I checked, we were 16 subscribers away from my end of season goal of 500. Not 100% sure if we're gonna hit it, but I'm gonna keep putting out content, seeing if we can do it. So, I mean, I imagine we're probably gonna hit that goal before too long. It's actually 17, sorry, not 16. I imagine we're gonna hit that goal at some point, but you know, maybe not. Maybe not quite by the end of the season. CJ Stroud is getting out of pressure there. He tries to throw to Devin Singletary, and it is just way too far behind him. And I think he was trying to say there was, like, you know, some holding or something, but I didn't see anything personally. Can look at the 8-minute stream to find out. A fact about me, I almost died 3 times. That's rough, Mikey. I almost died 1 time. I had, my brain exploded. You know, you can, I think I've shown this on the stream before, but you can see the scar on the back of my head. But yeah, my brain exploded. That was rough. All right. It's going to be a short dump-off pass to number 19, and he picks up, like, maybe a yard or 2. Ravens defense coming in hot on this drive. So now you're potentially talking about giving the ball back to the Ravens, and that's not ideal. Can't live stream anymore. Why, I don't know. Well, you can't live stream anymore probably because they think that you violated some sort of community guideline. So I would investigate it, and I would email. Oh wait, no. You said you're 12, so that's probably why. You know, like once you're not 12 anymore, you can probably like once you're not a like a young minor, whatever their policy is, you can probably email them and ask them to lift the restriction. But, I mean, that's probably why, Kylie. So, I mean, like, you know, sorry to say that, but, you know, I think that's the reason for it, though. False start on the Texans. My God. Choked twice in a car crash once. I was in a car crash. I didn't almost die from it, but it was a rough one, though. It was my own fault. I just, you know, going through an intersection, didn't see the red light, and... But, from what I understand, nobody was particularly severely harmed from that one, so. YouTube does not permit young minors to live stream without the supervision of adults, so that's why. Well, then that's why, Kylie. So I'm sorry. but that's why. So, I would definitely email them when you're older and be like, hey, I'm not a young minor anymore. Can you take the restriction off? But yeah, that's why. Sorry about that. All right, 3rd and 13, and somebody took a timeout. I didn't see who. So that's what's going on right now.
Go. One of you stinks.
Sorry, I'm getting spam stuff, and I told them to stop.
You okay?
Yeah, why?
Heard you mumbling something about spam.
Yeah, it's just spam, babe. I can handle spam.
Okay. Do you want dinner?
Not right now. I'll have some when I'm done. Thank you, though. What is for dinner?
Hard to describe?
Could you try? I guess not. Okay. Okay. Yep, Josh got back to me. Have to talk. Yeah, I've had a couple of I've had a couple of issues with this computer since I set it up. But I mean that's just growing pains with like a whole new system. So yeah, this thing with OBS, Bluetooth isn't connecting on my thing at all. So yeah, we'll get through it though. 2-minute warning. Yep, we were at the. It was the. I thought there was a timeout. I'm not. I've got too many things I'm paying attention to right now, Mark. Fair enough. 2-minute warning. I thought it was a timeout. There you go. All right, this Texans offense. I'll tell you what, guys. This Texans offense is a bit of trash right now. Bit of trash is this Texans offense right now. Where y'all think Bill Belichick ends up, by the way? He didn't get hired anywhere, right? Like I heard rumors about him with the Falcons, but like I thought sure he was going to retire, but now I'm hearing all these rumors that he's connected to this team and that team and whatever. Yeah, I don't think he's been hired by anybody just yet. CJ Stroud takes a shotgun snap, bounces around. He's going to throw it over the middle, and he's got Nico Collins. There you go. 3rd and 13, they convert. They finally get a big play. They've needed something like that desperately. Finally getting going. There you go. They flip field position there, too. Catches the ball about the 46, gets past the 50, down to about the other 46. So there you go. There you go. About 10 more yards, and they're in field goal range. Mikey says, I hope he goes to Atlanta. Why would you want that? Why would you want that, Mikey? That's not good for you. I think part of Atlanta's problem in recent years has been their lack of leadership. And, Bill Belichick has nothing if not leadership. There's another pass over the middle to Nico Collins. He picks up about 15. So this Texans offense has got fire right now. And if they can capitalize on it, then that'll put them in a really good position going into halftime. So now, I was saying, oh man, you might potentially be giving the ball back to the Ravens offense. I don't think that's going to be happening anymore. You're under 2 minutes to play now. Or under 1 minute to play. 52, 51, 50 for sinking purposes. It's going to be a handoff to Devin Singletary. He's going to get to the outside. Doesn't really do much there. About a 3-yard pickup. Maybe 2, depending on where the ref spots it. I hate Shannon Sharp starting today. What, like on the broadcast or something? I don't know. I don't listen to Shannon Sharp too much. I don't know. I can tell you I don't like Skip Bayless, so I'm usually in Shannon's corner. Hope he goes. I just don't know why you would want him to. Why would that be great for you, Mikey? You know, It's crazy to me though to think about Bill Belichick, because like I mean like the pain of that like 28-3 Super Bowl loss for the Falcons, like to have Bill Belichick there just feels like a reminder of that to me. CJ Stroud shotgun snap. He's going to escape to the right side after a little bit of pressure. He's going to throw it up. It's just too high. That was a terrible pass. Like he had number 2 there, and he just way overthrew him. That was terrible. That was an awful pass by CJ Stroud there. Not sure what you're doing, bro. I mean, I kind of see it. You're trying to throw it so that Mullet can't throw it down. But, like, I mean, you got to be a little bit more precise with that. That was a very bad pass by CJ Stroud. Mark says, no thanks, I don't want to have to deal with the Belichick defense. That's what I'm saying, Mikey. Like, do you really want to deal with Bill Belichick? Like, I feel like Bill Belichick could, like, be, could make the Falcons more competitive. Because, like, I mean, they got all those weapons on offense, and then if he can come in and really get their defense going, I think Bill Belichick could be a positive force in Atlanta, even though it might be a little painful for their fans. But I don't know why. What Bill has done without Brady. I mean, frankly, yeah, but like, I mean, Bill had the Patriots, competitive without Brady, despite not having hardly any talent. Like, I mean, let's look at like what the Patriots have been without Tom Brady. Frankly, with Tom Brady, they barely had any talent. Tom Brady was just amazing and kept like going all over the place. Jeff Barber says, as a Panthers fan, I'm sick. Well, it hasn't happened yet, Jeff. By the way, I don't think I've seen you in the chat before, so welcome to the chat. If you're not subscribed, feel free to subscribe. Considering the fact that you're just jumping in, I'm assuming you probably are subscribed, though, so welcome to the chat. I just don't remember seeing you before. All right, 3rd and 8, CJ Stroud, shotgun snap. He's going to throw it. Oh, my, another terrible pass. Woods, I guess, is the guy he keeps targeting. CJ Stroud just throwing awful passes. And that probably wouldn't have been a first down anyway. I don't know what the hell that play call was, but terrible passing by CJ Stroud the last couple plays. Like Andy Dalton type of passing the last 2 plays. But it is going to be pretty, I don't want to say easy field goal range, but like definitely very makeable field goal range here. 47-yard attempt by, what was that, Blankenship? No, not Blankenship. All right, anyway, kick is up, and that's good. Oh, no, he missed it! Oh, no! Oh, crap. Fuck. Mikey says, have you heard we fired Pete? I did, Mikey. I did. I heard about that. The first thing I thought of, I was like, I wonder how Mikey feels. Probably pretty happy. All right, well, yep, they missed it. I thought it was a pretty easy field goal, but nope. No, sir. No, sir. All right, so we're very likely to go into this half tied, which is interesting. But I mean, here's what I'm saying, guys. Like it's just been sloppy. Like those Texans have been beating themselves. This is kind of what I've been saying about the Ravens. Like the Ravens have had some admittedly solid defense today, but the offense just hasn't been. The offense has been about what I expected out of the Ravens. And like my opinions about them in the playoffs. So, I mean, if the Texans were to just, like, stop being so damn sloppy, they'd be winning right now. Okay, let's see. What we got? We got, he knows how to build a top 5 defense. That's what I'm saying. Rob Gronkowski. What about Rob Gronkowski? He's not coming back. He's done. He's probably too old at this point. Like, I mean, just barely. I can't imagine Rob Gronkowski would come back. Just a bit pushed it wide right. Yeah, just barely. I thought, I saw it going right, and I was like, ooh, I wonder if he's going to miss this. But it wasn't clear. It's like, it wasn't until the very end, and you saw it go just in front of that upright, that you're like, crap. So that was rough. All right, well, there's 32 seconds left in the half. And the Ravens do have their timeouts, so the Ravens will get the ball at the 37-yard line of the Texans. So, the Texans are going to have to be careful not to let the Ravens go get a field goal here. But we'll see. I felt like we won the Super Bowl. That's rough, Mikey. You fired a coach. It's not the same thing. But okay, I know you also hate Pete Carmichael too. So like I can imagine like when the Bengals fired Bob Bratkowski, like back in the day, like I bought a shirt that said "Fire Bratkowski." That's how much I wanted that guy gone. And when we fired him, I was really happy. So I know how you feel. That's kind of rough. Kylie says, "What age is not young minor?" I don't know. You'd have to look into that for YouTube. I would think like. I don't know, because Mikey streams and Mikey doesn't get taken down, and Mikey's what you're like 14, right, Mikey? So I mean, I'd give it like a year, maybe 2. You know, reach out to YouTube, email them, be like, hey, can you take my restriction down, please? So I don't know, I'd look at it. He was a talent when he was with the Pats. Yeah, he was, but he wasn't particularly. You know, he's just a little too old. Lamar Jackson gets bullied in the backfield, and he gets taken down back to the 25-yard line. So that's a big play by the Texans defense. And now I'm thinking, if you're the Ravens, I'm thinking you're probably just – I would just, like, run this clock, honestly. The Texans may have taken a timeout, actually, because the clock stopped. I can't imagine the Ravens took a timeout after that play. I don't know why they would. Like, after a big loss like that, I think you're just, like, giving up on the drive. Like, since the half's almost over, you know? I could be wrong, but, yeah. Mikey says 14. Okay, well, I guess when you're 14, honestly, your next birthday, July 7th, when you're 13, I'd email YouTube and I'd ask. I'd be like, hey, I got banned because I guess I'm a minor and I don't really quite understand, so, is 13 okay, or do I need to wait till 14? I would email YouTube and ask. Lamar Jackson takes a shotgun snap, and once again, he gets plastered in the backfield. And that was the Texans, by the way, who took the time. No, it was the Ravens who took the timeout. So now, Lamar Jackson's going to be way in the backfield, and I think the Texans might be taking a timeout here. With 19 seconds left to go. Yep, the Texans are taking a timeout. All right, well, I mean, you never know. Something crazy could happen. Lamar Jackson's just getting bullied back there too. Like the Texans are blitzing like crazy, and it's looking like Justice Hill was the man who got just obliterated in the backfield. There it was a free number 48 was a free rusher, but then Justice Hill just could not block to save his life on that play. All right, so now it's going to be 3rd and 32. Holy crap. 21 seconds left, by the way. They put 2 seconds back on the clock. So it's going to be a handoff, and he's going to get the ball down to about the 22, 3 maybe yard line. Justice Hill. John says blitz. Yeah, it was a blitz, and there was a free rusher. And 15 seconds left. The Texans take their final timeout. And I'm not entirely sure what they think they're going to do here, but I guess it makes sense. Give yourself a chance to try to do something. Lamar apparently before this game said Ravens have to win to quiet the noise. And that's right. That's correct. And I will say so far, the Ravens have not been quieting much noise. The Ravens defense has had quite a good game today, but Lamar has not. Lamar, it's not Lamar's fault, but like the Texans pass rush has been really good today. And that's not necessarily Lamar's fault. But I will say he's only got like 52 yards passing on the day, and he does have 50 yards rushing. So that one's, something. All right, on 4th and 20, they're going to punt the ball away, and that's a booming punt. And that's going to roll all the way down to the 17-yard line. What a punt. Oh my God. 5 seconds left, and so much for that. So much for that for the Texans. They're probably just going to kneel on it now, I would imagine. I don't think CJ Stroud's going to come out here for like a big like Hail Mary bomb or anything like that. They're probably just going to kneel on it. Lamar Jackson's already in the locker room. Huh. He looks frustrated too. That's not good. Yep, Texans are kneeling on it. Okay. Kylie says making videos and watching me. Well, thank you, Kylie. I'm hoping to get back to making videos here relatively soon. Because I just keep noticing there's too much interests happening with my channel lately for me to not put videos out. I just upgraded my computer. I don't have a lot of like freelancing work coming in right now. I am doing more in school lately, but I should have time to make some videos here soon. So I'm gonna try to make the effort. Pete Carmichael already paid for his sins. Now it's Dennis Allen's turn. You know what? I really have to pee. So who got the ball first? Looks like the Texans got the ball first. So I might hold it. I have to pee, but do I have to pee that badly? I don't know. Lamar, the playoff choke artist. That's what I'm saying, Richard. By the way, Richard, if you're just joining us now, unfortunately, I got a new computer, which is great. It's a great computer, but unfortunately, it wiped out all of my settings on OBS, so I don't have the pop-up chat feature right now. Like I can't like put your comment on the screen. I will read your comments if you say them, but I can't put your comment up on the screen right now. That feature will be coming back. I just didn't have time to figure out the whole thing today. It might not be back by tomorrow. I might not have time. If I am, I don't even know if I'm streaming tomorrow. But if I do stream tomorrow, it might not be back by tomorrow. But I promise you it'll be back by next week. So yeah, but yeah, Lamar Jackson, the playoff choke artist. That's what I'm saying, you know. And this game has not been Lamar Jackson's fault. Like that's I want that to be clear. Lamar hasn't been great, but I mean he's got like 50 yards rushing on the day already. You know, I mean he could be over 100 by the end of the day. He hasn't been super accurate throwing the ball today, which is it's just more classic Lamar Jackson, right? But he hasn't like turned the ball over, which that's usually my biggest concern with Lamar Jackson is his propensity to turn the ball over in really like key moments, you know? So that's the thing. But Lamar Jackson has thrown a touchdown pass. He's been sacked 3 times though. I think is that's I think the big takeaway from the first half is the Ravens' offensive scheme has just been really bad. The Texans have been eating the Ravens' offensive scheme alive. Save for so there's been some big plays, and that's why the Ravens have 10 points. And it was looking pretty bad there for the Texans for a minute because their offense wasn't able to get anything going. And then, you know, the Ravens ended up with 10 points. And it was kind of starting to feel like, crap, how are they going to, you know, like, are they just going to let the game get away from them at this point? Then they had that big punt return, which was awesome. Yeah, they had that big punt return touchdown, and that's why it's back 10-10. The Texans' offense still needs to step it up. But what you're seeing the Texans start to put together some explosive plays, which is, if they can harness that in the second half, that's huge. With the Ravens, the thing is, you're not really seeing any progress with the Ravens' offense. So it's just like it's going to be. I think this is. I hesitate to say this because they just haven't really been taking advantage of everything, and there's been a lot of sloppy play, but it's kind of the Texans' game to lose, you know? Like, if they can stop playing so sloppily, and they can, like, start, you know, performing a bit better on offense, then this is the Texans' game to lose, because, like, the Ravens just don't really feel like they're doing much of anything right now. Like, the defense is playing fairly well. The offense is not doing much. Like, they've had some big hits, but, like, it hasn't been consistent. And it feels like recently they've cooled down quite a bit. So it feels like if the Texans can heat up, then this is their game to lose. But at the same time, you know, whether they're actually going to do that or not just depends on, you know, halftime adjustments. I think this will really show us, like, this next half of football, I think will really show us how good of a coach that DeMeco Ryans. I think this next half of football will show us just like, is DeMeco Ryans legit, or did he just take advantage of people not paying attention to the Texans this offseason? And give him all the credit in the world for them, you know, like having a big resurgence this year. But at the same time, is he really is he legit, or is it a lot of smoke and mirrors with DeMeco Ryans, and they're going to get figured out? I think this next half of football is going to determine that for him. So if DeMeco Ryans is legit, then we're going to see the Houston Texans pull away and win this game. If not, then the Ravens probably win, because I think the Ravens win like a super close football game, a super close, low-scoring football game. I think the Ravens win that game. But if the Texans can pull away, if the Texans can get control of themselves and do some halftime adjustments and really start taking advantage of some of the opportunities the Ravens keep giving them, then I think the Texans win this game, and I think DeMeco Ryans is proven to be a damn good head coach, which I think he is. But we'll have to. I think this will be like this. This is show me time right now, And obviously, it's not like if the Texans lose, then DeMeco Ryans trash. That's not what I'm saying. But I think this is an opportunity for DeMeco Ryans to really prove himself as yes, I really deserve this opportunity. I'm the guy for the job. I think this is his opportunity to do that. So we'll see if he does. Every day I pray Dennis Allen gets fired. Well, you know what, Mikey? From what I've been hearing you talk about lately, as far as Dennis Allen goes, I think that would be the best thing for the Saints. Dennis Allen, I don't think is the right guy. I don't think Dennis Allen's the right guy. Not after the stuff you told me. Finished my chicken dinner. Hope it was good, Mikey. Mark Kearns says Lamar needs to be careful because every team has beaten the 49ers. Their starting QB has gotten hurt. Kirk Cousins, Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow, and even Matt Stafford to an extent. I mean, yeah, I guess that's true. Lamar Jackson has managed to stay remarkably healthy this year. I think that's a big part of what has been a lot of the Ravens' success this year. Because I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. The Ravens are basically as good as Lamar Jackson. If Lamar Jackson's good, then the Ravens are going to do well. If Lamar Jackson has any issues, then the Ravens aren't going to do well. And the Ravens will go exactly as far as Lamar Jackson, no farther. And typically about as far as he'll take them. So this game so far, he's been, pretty average passing, pretty good running, but he's been pretty average passing. So it's just if the Texans can get a hold of themselves, which by the way, CJ Stroud, has thrown for 131 yards so far. So it's not like he's having a bad game, but he's also 11 for 20. So, he's hovering right around 50% completion. So he does need to be a little bit better about that, but he has been hitting some big plays, which is the thing that I kind of keep saying. If CJ Stroud can, let me go ahead and update this to halftime, by the way. But if CJ Stroud can really kind of rein himself in and start going back to being that surgical technician that we know that he can be. And I know that's not his game, but we know he's capable of it. And so if he can be a little bit more of that in this second half, then I think it's really the Texans' game to lose. But I think there's a good chance they do lose that game if they come out in the second half and they play just as sloppy. I don't think the Ravens are putting together an impressive game at all. I think the Ravens look very beatable right now. But then again, how many times have I said that about the Ravens this year, and then they end up winning anyway? The Ravens have won game after game after game after game after game of looking like a very beatable football team. They're 13-4, and I would say probably 7 of those wins they could have easily lost. So, maybe even more. The Ravens have had a lot of games this year where they looked like they were playing down to their opponent and probably could have lost, but somehow managed to come away with the win. And then obviously they've had some big games against the 49ers, the Dolphins, they've had some big wins. But they've also had a lot of really concerning games too. And this is playing out exactly like that, It's just to see if can the Texans take advantage of the situation and come away and go get the win, But like I said, this game is the Texans' game to lose. And they got to step up to not lose it, but they should absolutely be capable of stepping up. Is kind of what I'm saying. Richard Worcester. I don't even know how to pronounce your last name. Is it Worcestershire? It's not Worcestershire because it's not spelled the same. I can't imagine. Worcester. No, that's the Cowboys. What did he say? Playoff choke artist? It's both. It's both. Lamar Jackson absolutely is a playoff choke artist. And if they lose this game, I think that's just more proof that he's a playoff choke artist. I mean, the Cowboys are too. I'm not saying the Cowboys aren't, but it definitely, it's an accurate statement to say about the Ravens. Matthew Stafford injured his ribs last week, but kept playing. Yeah. Yeah, he did. I had ringworm. It's not good. Rams fans are not allowed to ever complain about the refs until they win a Super Bowl. Is that what you said? Until the Saints make it to a Super Bowl. Okay, Rams fans are not ever allowed to complain about the refs until the Saints make it to a Super Bowl. I feel like you wouldn't let them complain about the refs then either, Mikey. But I will say it is kind of funny. It's like when Steelers fans have been complaining about the refs a lot lately. Like, they were talking about, like, where was the holding call? That's why we lost to the Bills. And like, a lot of shit they've been saying lately. And it's like, you know, they're like, it's kind of hard to win a game when you're playing against the refs, too. And it's like, bro, everybody plays against the refs every single game. So, like, shut the fuck up. And, like, look, here's the thing. Like, Steelers fans complaining about the refs is, I made this analogy the other day. Yesterday, I think, actually. But Steelers fans complaining about the refs is like white people complaining about capitalism. Like, shut up. Like, I mean, you might be right. Yeah, there might, like, you know, like, the refs might have some issues, and yeah, this one might have gotten in your way. But for the most part, the Steelers have been such a huge beneficiary of the refs over the years. Like, shut up. Like, shut up. Nobody cares. Texans went farther than most thought. Well, they might go farther than this, honestly, if the Ravens can't rein things in. But you still think the Ravens win this game, Jim? That's fair. That's fair. I think the Texans. I said it before. Obviously, my prediction was that the Texans win. I also thought they were going to win a much more high-scoring football game. But I mean, really, I right now I think it is the Texans' game to lose because it really is just going to require, like, you know, the Ravens aren't really getting better. The Texans feel like they've been kind of getting better. It's been a sloppy game, but if they can clean up the mistakes, or at least clean up some of the mistakes, and harness a few more of their opportunities, because, like, honestly, the Texans should be winning this game. You know, it should be probably like 20-10 right now. But, like, you know, they've just missed some golden opportunities to really take control of this game. You know? And I'm including, it was like a 47-yard missed field goal. And there was a drive they probably should have gotten a touchdown out of, and they just kind of like fell apart, you know? So, you know, it really, if the Texans can clean up the mistakes, it's really all they got to do. If they can do some legitimate halftime adjustments, then I think this is the Texans' game to lose. Kylie Hoffman says, I missed the Grossi raids. There's been 3 of them. I imagine there will be another one at some point. Probably not this year. He's probably, like, you know, seeing my channel. I was like, hey, we've done that guy a bunch of times. We're not going to do it again. But perhaps next year we might get another one. I don't know. But, you know, it's okay. It's kind of random when they happen anyway. Jim says Texans went farther. Oh, yeah, we already read that one. 49ers own the Packers and will win again. Sorry, Tom. Well, yeah, they own Aaron Rodgers, though. I don't know if you can say they own the Packers yet. So we'll see. We'll see. I do think the 49ers win. I'll be rooting for the Packers. Not necessarily because of Tom, but because fuck the 49ers, you know? But I agree with you, though. I think the 49ers win. Yeah, and then obviously John agrees with Mikey. I sent you something on Twitter, and I don't believe it. Well, let me check, Mark. Let me check. Kickoff is away, and that's going to be returned. That's a terrible kickoff. All right, 20, 25, 30. Gets a bit of a lane. 40. Oh, my God. 45-yard line. Awful. We get a flag or something? No such luck. Audio and video calls are here. Okay. I don't really want audio and video calls. Mark says, okay, what did you say? Rebecca McIntyre, Usher, Post Malone are slated to perform at San Francisco 49ers and Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl matchup on February 11th. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be. First of all, it's probably like an accident. Like it's not going to be Ravens 49ers. I don't think. I don't even think the Ravens are going to win this game. Honestly. All right, Ravens shotgun formation from the 45-yard line. Lamar Jackson takes a snap. He throws it. He's got Nelson Aguilar for about a 9-yard pickup. Come on, Texans. Don't lie down. Don't just lay down and die right now. Come on. You had one bad play out of the half. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please. I agree, Mikey. Boo, yep, yep, okay. Yep. I mean that's funny, but I don't think that's I don't think that's proof of anything. I think it's just a mistake on their part. They probably used like an old template or something like that to put that together, honestly. All right, 2nd and 1. Lamar Jackson is in the shotgun formation with a man to his right. Takes a snap, throws over the middle, wide open Isaiah Likely. And he stiff arms a man straight into hell. Gets it down to about the 25-yard line. Come on, Texans. Looks like the Ravens are the ones who made the halftime adjustments, y'all. There's a Texans player down on the field. Looks a little injured. Wonder what happened. I think it was the linebacker here. He was blitzing. I don't know. It looked like nothing happened. Maybe it's somebody else. Could be wrong. Oh, didn't look like anything happened. Yeah, big play by Isaiah Likely there. Got to do better than that, man. Well, 1st and 10. Yeah, that linebacker, 48. I guess it was him. All right, he's going off the field. And, Christian Harris. 3rd round pick in the 2022 draft, so he's a rookie. Something was going on with his hand. I'm not entirely sure what it was. Maybe it's his shoulder. I don't know, because now he's doing, like, arm circles on the field. Fix the scoreboard. Yep. Thank you, Mikey. Quarter 3. All right, Lamar Jackson in shotgun formation. He's going to keep it himself. He's going to try to run for it. Doesn't have a lot of room. Manages to pick up about 2 yards. And he's mad at somebody about something. I don't know. He's screaming at one of his offensive linemen. I mean, he's not still doing it, but he was. He was pissed. Must have been like a bad block or something. All right. Come on, Texans. Hold them to a field goal. 2nd and 7. From about the 29-yard line. Shotgun formation from Lamar Jackson. He's got Justice Hill in the backfield with him to his left. Takes the snap. He throws it, and that is caught by Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman. Yep, that's a first down, about a 11-yard. No, not 11. About an 8-yard pickup. So just enough for a first down, but that's what matters. Damn, come on, Texans. They've been having a pretty good defensive game today, and this drive is not. Oh my God! What? Wow, that was really lucky for the Ravens too, because that was just barely not batted down by, like, the Texans player got his hands in the air and it just grazed the inside of his hand. Lamar Jackson throws over the middle, and that is almost intercepted by Jalen Petrie, but he ends up dropping it. Ravens calling for a pass interference. I don't think they're going to get it though. Don't think they're going to get it. Yep, fake handoff to Justice Hill. He throws over the middle and almost, and I'm not seeing any pass interference there at all. I think Isaiah Likely was trying to say that there was pass interference on that, and that's definitely not. Jalen Petrie almost picks that off in the end zone, which would have been huge, but nope. Ducks says hello. What's up, Ducks? Lamar Jackson keeps it himself, and he just runs straight into the end zone. God damn it. Touchdown, Ravens. Well, there you go. Texans defense just got shredded on that drive, man. 6 plays, 55 yards. They just ate them alive on that drive. Looks like the Ravens are the ones who made the halftime adjustments. John sent a picture of a mouse. That out of here. There's a mouse running around in my house right now, and I don't like it. All right, Justin Tucker's extra point is up. That is good. (17-10). Damn. Texans offense really got to step it up because they haven't done anything today, really. Like, they've had some explosive plays and really gotten a whole lot of nothing out of it. Texans offense is going to have to step way the hell up on this next drive. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to be like, going from, hey, it's the Texans game to lose to immediately doom and gloom or anything like that. But, I mean, like, if the Ravens offense is going to start heating up, then the Texans offense got to do something. Because it has not been their best game at all. That Texans offense has got to step up. Now my wife is spamming me. After that whole thing earlier. That's funny. Rat. Yeah, rat birds. That's what it is. The rat birds. We don't need no rat birds to win no football games here. No, we don't. No, sir. Don't need none of that in my life. Gotta say, that was a pretty well executed offensive drive by the Baltimore Ravens, but also arguably just as bad of a defensive drive by the Texans. Like, everything they were doing in the first half, just, at least on that last drive, just like completely gave up on it. I don't know what that was, but that was a rough drive for the Texans. Not what you want to see. Not what you want to see at all. Mikey says I'm going to stream 5 times this week. All right. You go. You go, Mikey. I might end up streaming. I think how many games did I do in the wild card? I think I did 2, didn't I? I think I might have done 2. I'm definitely not planning on doing Dux says I liked this stream. Well, there you go. Thank you, Dux. I appreciate your patronage. Appreciate you liking the channel. I appreciate you showing up again, too. I remember you from the last one. And possibly the one before that. Can't remember. All right, Justin Tucker. He's going to kick the ball to the end zone, and that's just going to be fielded for a touchback. That's probably the right call there. Mikey says the only day I won't be will be Friday. Okay, fair enough. I don't think I can stream that much right now personally, but like I said, I've been thinking about doing more live streams. But, like I said, I also might going forward have a little bit more time to put out some videos and a much better computer to do it with. So hopefully we'll get more content out. I don't know. We'll see. Right now, I just want to get through this stream though, right? All right. CJ Stroud. Come on, let's go. Shotgun snap. And he's got a lot of pressure in his face. Dumps it off short to Devin Singletary, who makes a man miss. Picks up about 6 yards. There you go. Dux says, I hope the Chiefs are out of the Super Bowl. Yeah, me too. I don't want to see him in it. I would like to see the Dolphins win. However, once we saw the way that game actually played out, it made me realize I don't actually want the Dolphins to win. Because that would mean we have to watch the Dolphins play more. And that sounds awful. Because the Dolphins were a joke this year, man. Like, yeah, they had some big games, 70-20 against the Broncos, great. But like when it mattered, they never did anything. Dolphins were the most fraudulent team this year, easily. I know everybody's saying everything about the Eagles. It's going to be a handoff to Devin Singletary who loses 2 yards. Oh, boy. Come on, Texans. It's so boring with the Chiefs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't necessarily think... I'm not going to necessarily say it's like super boring because like I rooted for the Patriots to win quite a few Super Bowls. I don't mind having a dynasty because that means everybody's got somebody to shoot for, you know? I actually kind of like it when there's like a dynasty to shoot for. And if it's got to be the Chiefs, that sucks. But, you know, like from a neutral perspective, I don't mind having the same team in it, you know, a lot. Because that gives everybody somebody to shoot for. But I also do wish it wasn't the Chiefs, though. CJ Stroud rolls out right and he throws. He's got a man. He's got Dalton Schultz out to the right side, and that's going to be enough for a first down. So there you go. There you go. Keeps the drive alive. Looked like they were about to stall out, but nope. Kept the drive alive. It's good pressure by the Ravens, but CJ Stroud made it happen there. Heard some rumors that the Bengals, so far it's literally just Bengals might be a good landing spot for Dalton Schultz, but I would love it if the Bengals could bring him in. I think they'd be a really good addition to this team. All right, it's going to be a inside pitch to Devin Singletary, who picks up like 1 yard. My God. The Texans' running game is non-existent today. Mikey says, can the Saints win? Sure. As long as you don't get it in the Bengals' way. If the Bengals shoot themselves in the foot, sure, I'm cool with the Saints winning. But no, they can't win if the Bengals are involved. Sorry. All Bengals all day. 2nd and 9 after the bad run there. 2nd and 9. 9. Do I want the Ravens to win another Super Bowl? 9. All right, fake handoff, CJ Stroud once again rolls out of pressure, and he just throws the ball away. Rough. Flag on the play, though. Wondering if they're, looking like they're pointing at the Ravens, so this might end up being a, might possibly end up being a, they're saying face mask? Might be a face mask on the Ravens. It'd be a big break for the Texans here. Hold on. Let's see what they say. Holding. But it is on the defense, though. Holding on the Ravens. All right, that's going to be an automatic first down for the Texans. That's a big break because, once again, it was looking like they were about to stall out on the drive, and once again, it stays alive. And this team seems to only really exist off of big plays, so just the more opportunities they have, the more opportunities they have to break a big play, and that's what you really need right now, I think. Ducks says, I really don't know why some NFL teams hand off for the first play of the game. Because you're just trying to get an idea of how what the opposing defense is doing. There's going to be a fake handoff to Devin Singletary. CJ Stroud rolls out right, and he's just going to end up keeping it, picks up about 4 yards. But yeah, I think the main reason is because you don't want to show your whole hand on the first play, right? So I think the reason most teams tend to hand it off more often on the first play is because they're just trying to get an idea of what defensive scheme the opposing team is bringing. So you just do a simple run and see hey, how are they playing this? Are they going to let us, run? You're trying to get a feel, and so you just want to see what happens. And if it works, then maybe you have more of a running-oriented game plan. If it doesn't, then maybe you go away from that. You can also get some ideas. Devin Singletary breaking through, makes another man miss, gets down to the 38-yard line. That's a great run there by Devin Singletary. Finally. But yeah, I think the reason NFL teams do that, Ducks, is just to give to get an insight into what the opposing defense is doing. You don't want to show your whole hand right away, Bart Starr owned the 49ers when they played. Then the 49ers were owned by a Packers quarterback that wears number 4. Then the 49ers owned Aaron Rodgers. So the next step in the pattern is Jordan Love owning the 49ers. I guess. I don't know if that's much of a pattern. If it sounds like the Packers have mostly done it. That's going to be a huge busted play by the Texans, and it just ends up could have been worse. They end up losing 3 yards, but that was almost 3 different sacks because they had they had a, I guess the first one wouldn't have been a sack, it would have been a tackle for 6-yard loss because that looked like it was going to be a running play, and then they did a flea flicker, and then that guy did a lateral. So that was a really weird play. Oh no, sorry, it was a jet sweep and then a flea flicker. And then a pass, and he manages to not lose a ton of yards, but he loses some yards. So that didn't work out at all for the Houston Texans. It's going to be 2nd and 15 now. 3, 2, 1. What are we doing? I guess they got the snap off. All right, CJ Stroud throws over the middle, and it's broken up. It's going to be 3rd and 15 now. Dude, this Texans offense is painful to watch right now. Just painful. It's not good. It's not interesting. They've just been getting bailed out over and over and over. And Yeah, I don't know what to say about this. I don't know what to say about this offense right now. Like, it's just not good. Like, the fact that the drive has gone on this long is remarkable, and it's just remarkably showing that the Ravens have shot themselves in the foot a couple of times. Ducks says, had there been a Chiefs fan trolling? Not in this chat. It has been before. It's gonna be a short dump off pass to Dalton Schultz, and he doesn't really do much with that at all. So it's gonna, after all that, the Texans are gonna have to punt. After all that, the Texans are gonna have to punt. Good God. Let's see. Were they mean to us? Chiefs fans suck. I know Chiefs fans are really mean. Not all of them are. There's some pretty chill Chiefs fans out there. Like, I got to give, some of them credit. Like, not all Chiefs fans are terrible. It's just the loudest ones are awful. Like, the Chiefs definitely have, like, as far as, like, the worst parts of their fan base, the Chiefs, like, are the worst of any team. That's going to be a good punt down to about the 7-yard line. All right. So there you go. Pinning the Ravens back deep in their own territory, and so hopefully the defense can get off the field here. And actually, what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to go ahead and P for the D. I'll get back to the rest of these comments here in a second. I'm going to P for the D, see if that works. All right, so we're gonna see if my urine has any magic to it. I don't know. I haven't really kept track of how often it works. But I don't know. Maybe we can get a pick six. That'd be pretty cool. Texans get a pick six. That'd be really useful. Be really nice if their offense could actually do something, because then you actually feel like maybe they could close this game out. But unfortunately, their offense seems to be a lot of smoke and mirrors and bullshit. But then again, it looked like the Bengals were going to beat the Texans, and then they just kind of like pulled a win out of their ass. So, anything could happen, really. Ducks says, Kyle, have you ever seen a Chiefs fan trolling? Yes, I have. I have seen, obviously, yeah. The Chiefs fans troll me all the time, Like, they're, like, again, I want to be clear, there are some good Chiefs fans out there. I personally know some good Chiefs fans. Their whole fan base isn't just trash, like there are plenty of Chiefs fans out there who are just fine, and I like those guys, but the Chiefs definitely, like, the most toxic part of the Chiefs fan base have got to be the most toxic part of any fan base out there. Like, the Chiefs fans who do suck are the worst of the worst. So, it's kind of unfortunate, because they have some people, They have some people who deserve the fact that their team's good, but they have a lot of people who are just, like, awful about it. All right, Lamar Jackson's going to hand the ball off to Justice Hill. Busted coverage there. Not coverage, but busted defense there, and he breaks off the second level, picks up about a 9-yard gain. Don't waste the good field position, Texans. Come on. Kylie says YouTube Shorts is crazy. I found a short where 8 people are playing Uno in the back of a truck that is moving at 50 miles an hour, and one of them has 100 cards, and the shorts about none of that. That's weird. That's a really weird thing. All right. 2nd and 1. It's going to be a pitch to Gus Edwards. I think. No, yeah, Gus Edwards. And he picks up the first down. Gets about 5 total yards out of that. Come on, Texans. Mark says the NFL admin is in Tom's chat. The NFL admin? Like what? Like the admin of the NFL YouTube channel or something? That's kind of... I don't know exactly what you're saying there, but like, sounds interesting. Mikey says, I hate Chiefs fans more than Falcons fans. That's crazy. Because, like, I don't hate Chiefs fans more than I hate Steelers fans, you know? And I get it a lot worse than you do, Mikey. Like, I mean, I know you've had some bad experiences, but, like, you know, at least they're not constantly, like, you know, talking shit about your team. Some of them might. Lamar Jackson's got all day to throw, and he eventually finds Rashad Bateman because he has, like, literally 6 years to throw the fucking football. Holy crap. What are the Texans doing? What on earth are the Texans doing, guys? This has just been a horrendous second half effort. Like, not a horrendous second half, but definitely a horrendous second half effort. Because the Ravens are slicing and dicing the Texans' defense, and the offense can't get anything done. Looking like CJ Stroud out here looking like the rookie he is, which, fair enough. All right, shotgun snap for Lamar Jackson. He's going to throw it short to Rashad Bateman over the middle, and he picks up about 4 yards after getting tackled. YouTube channel. Oh, yeah, the YouTube channel. That's kind of cool. That's interesting. I've never seen anything like that happen before. I love when Falcons fans cried about the touchdown. Well, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine Falcons fans crying about that. That sounds like a very normal thing for a fan base. What pisses me off is that Dennis Allen apologized about it. Like, that's weak. That's weak as shit. Apologizing for winning. Terrible. 2nd and 5, Lamar Jackson is in something akin to a pistol formation. He's going to hand the ball off, and the Texans that time, well, they had him, but they let him fall forward for like 3 more yards. Yeah. Do better. Do better. Right, it's going to be 3rd down and about 2 now. They had him, man. They had him, and they just let him fall forward for like 4 more yards. Yep, 3rd and 2. Come on. Can we get an interception? Like I said, pick 6. Pick 6 would be really nice. Jalen Petrie almost had a big interception earlier and dropped it. Nope, because it's going to be a handoff. And, hey, the Texans stop him. There you go. There you go. He gets down to about the 49-yard line, but he needed to get to the 49.5, so it's going to be 4th and 1. And I think John Harbaugh is going to have the Ravens go for it here, which I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that. I mean, it is kind of no man's land. I guess I get it, but that's kind of a weird decision to me, man. Like, I mean, you're giving the Texans great field. Then again, your defense has played well all game. The Texans' offense can't seem to do anything. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe this isn't that bad of an idea. And they'll probably pick it up anyway. Although, you never know. You never know. Lamar Jackson's going to fake the handoff, and he's just going to run it himself. He's got all day to run. Yep, down to the 40. Makes a man miss. Makes like 2 guys miss. Good God, Texans. Pushes the ball down to the 35-yard line. Terrible. Just absolutely terrible. This Texans team definitely, like, anybody who thought the Texans were making a run this year, silly. And that's what I was saying. Like, yeah, they beat the crap out of the Browns, but really, honestly, that was a close game until Joe Flacco imploded. So, I mean, it's not like, it kind of reminds me of when, like, you know, the Texans had that, dropped that, like, they had a big lead, like with Deshaun Watson, they had a big lead against the Chiefs, and then ended up letting the Chiefs come back. It just seems like a very Texans thing to, like, you know, be in a position just due to circumstance, and then end up, like, losing it. Lamar Jackson, with a ton of pressure, ends up having to just get rid of that ball. Live to fight another day. Mikey says, update the scoreboard. To what? There's nothing to update the scoreboard to. 17-10, quarter 3. There's nothing to update the scoreboard to, Mikey. Tom is trying to see if the NFL admin will tell him what happens to the Packers tonight. That's funny. That's pretty funny. Yeah, you forgot Houston punted. Yeah, unfortunately they did. All right, Lamar Jackson takes a shotgun snap, throws it short to Justice Hill, who picks up the first down. Dude, this is painful to watch this defense. This defense is painful. Now, granted, their offense has been terrible all day, too. So, I mean, like, you know, I guess you got to give credit to the Texans' defense for doing as well as they've done today to this point. But it's like now, even if the Texans' offense was doing well, managed to make their second half adjustments, even if that happened, it's like, because you're starting to think even if the Texans can get their offense going, like, you know, are they going to be able to do anything with it? Because this defense is just getting shredded by the Ravens right now. Oh, hey, that's not a first down. That's not a first down. Not that it matters; it'll be second down. But yeah, he stepped out before the first down, before he got to the marker. So yeah, that's not a first down. That'll be coming back again. Nothing that'll matter. It'll be second down and like 2, but he definitely stepped out. Texans really just getting lucky there. Texans really just getting super lucky there. That's not a first down. Again, not that it matters. Oh, it's actually going to be 3rd and 2. I'm sorry. I thought that was a first down play. So it's going to be 3rd and 2. And, yeah. I just have no faith that they're going to stop him here. And even if they do, it's an easy field goal for Justin Tucker. Like, this defense has got to step up. If they want to have any chance of, like, winning this game, they got to step up. I said at the halftime this was the Texans' game to lose, and they're doing a pretty good job of losing it right now. Lamar Jackson takes a shotgun snap, throws Justice Hill. There you go, first down, because of fucking course. Texans player might be hurt on the field, not sure. Either that or he's just dejected. Yeah, play better. Man, that was a really good play call by the Ravens, too. That was a really good play call. I mean, it was good execution, but that was a really good play call by the Ravens offensive coordinator. That was a great, and a very good route run by Justice Hill, to be fair. Very good route run. That'll get the job done every time. Mark says, hold on. Okay, so Mikey says, my bad, I forgot Houston punted. Yeah, they did. John says, Baltimore looks good. No, they don't. Like, do they really look good? This is why I don't believe in the Ravens, because this is what they've looked like all year. Like, yeah, they get the job done, but they get it done in really sloppy form all damn game. You know, so like, you know, do they look good? I don't think the Ravens look particularly good. You know, like they're doing all right now. They're doing better than they did in the first half, but I mean that first half was rough for the Ravens. And right now they're getting the job done, but it's not like they're doing it partially because the Texans defense is falling apart. It's not. This is not an example of the Ravens offense looking amazing, you know. But I guess it's hard to argue with the record, but still, I have a really hard time believing that the Ravens are going to go to the Super Bowl. I really do, because I don't think they look all that damn good. I just don't. They look fine. They look good enough. The Texans look awful right now. That's what it is. I don't think Baltimore looks that good. But they might end up winning either way, in fairness. All right, Lamar Jackson in the single back formation, but also shotgun. I don't know if that's called a pistol or whatever, but I think they're trying to get the Texans to jump, which they did. They got the Texans to just jump. Holy shit. Lamar Jackson's just like motioning people back and forth, and after doing like 3 damn times, you know, like fool me one shot, like yeah, it's offsides by the Texans. Oh my god, dude, the Texans suck. How they got this far is beyond me. How the Texans got this far is beyond me. Good God, dude. Now I'm not gonna sit here and call them frauds because like their expectations weren't that high. So the fact that they've gotten this far is pretty cool, remarkable for the Houston Texans. You know, give them credit, but they just aren't like people talking about them making like a Super Bowl run. Like I don't know, there's no way. There's no way. There is no way Texans gonna sit here and make a Super Bowl run. Not looking like this. Like, even if they do somehow come back and win this game, I just don't see it. You know, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Mark says there's one reason I want the Ravens to win. So the scriptwriter of the NFL scripted series finally tells the Strouds they don't control him anymore. Yeah, I haven't really been keeping up with that series a whole lot. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it's a good series. I just, it's not for me. It's not, I feel like it's still got a little bit of like structural work to do. But I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess that'd be sure, but like I kind of want to see I kind of want to see Ed get his comeuppance because like I know he tries, but he's just I don't know. I feel like Ed is has just become too much of a sympathetic character, and he like based on early in the series he didn't deserve it. So I don't know. I think I want to see Ed kind of like go back to being like the screw up that he really is. Like I think he's had too much of a redemption arc that I don't think that character really deserved. But I don't know. I could be wrong. But we're probably going to get in that redemption arc if the Ravens keep going. So, I don't know. My basketball team had 5 canceled because of snow and are 0-0. Well, yeah, can't win or lose if you don't play. The Texans are losing because they don't have Derrick Henry. What does Derrick Henry have to do with it? What? They've never had Derrick Henry. I'm confused. The series had me dying. They killed Timmy. Oh, dude, they killed. I told Tom I was mad at him for that one. I was like, no, you won't kill Timmy. They killed Timmy. Those bastards. Very sad. I've never been that mad about a GCU character death in my life before. Now, granted, that was the Bengals character, so maybe I'm biased, but I don't know. I was just like, man, Timmy didn't deserve that. Honestly, I'm not saying this because he's a Steelers fan, but it should have been Steve, because I feel like it would have made more sense if it was Steve. Just because of how awful of a father Otto is. I think it would have made a lot more sense for Steve to get killed than Timmy. Just because I feel like there was more development. If you're gonna have an Ed redemption arc, I feel like it should be in relation to Timmy. So I don't know. I feel like it was. I know why he did it. I just think it's unfortunate it had to go that direction. After the 1st and 5, I guess there must have been a penalty I missed. Gus Edwards gets 4 of those yards. Dude, the Texans are. Steven Nelson going off the field. He must have gotten hurt. Well, that's not good for the Texans at all. Otto was the villain of the NFC AFC saga. Otto killed Timmy. Yes, he did. And it definitely makes sense to me that Otto was the villain, considering the whole Deshaun Watson saga, Lamar Jackson's going to take it himself. He's going to run, and he throws. Easy catch for Isaiah Likely. He kind of mosses the dude, but that dude's also not really paying attention. So, yep, touchdown Ravens. It's 4th quarter, by the way, so I'm going to go ahead and update that. But, this game's starting to get away from the Texans. I'm going to go ahead and say if the Texans don't get a touchdown on this next drive, they're in a lot of trouble. Offense has got to step up on this next drive, or they're in a lot of trouble. I said this was the Texans' game to lose, and boy, are they losing it. They came out here in the second half, and they just shit the bed. Hardcore. All right, kick is up, and that's good, so it's going to be 24-10. The Texans have shit the bed, guys. Again, all the credit in the world for making it this far, I think the Texans have a bright future, I do. But they were never going on a Super Bowl run, and I think this is proof. Not that the Ravens aren't good, but they were never going on a Super Bowl run. I don't think they were ever going on a Super Bowl run. Gumball was for winners. I miss the Saints character. I do. I like that guy. He was kind of a dick. But I do miss the Saints character. How do I have indigestion? I haven't eaten. I don't know. Mikey says, when Timmy died, I thought about you. Well, I would imagine. Yeah. Bengals fan. Yep. Timmy deserved better. Timmy deserved better. I think Timmy deserved better as a character too. But I also understand why he did it. But just because, like, you know, you're reflecting the way the Bengals season's going and you gotta off him. And it sucks. It does. Timmy deserved better, but it's not Tom's fault. It's the Bengals' fault, you know, because Tom has, from what I understand, he has like this basic way that he wants the series to go, but he kind of writes the individual episodes based off of what happens in the NFL that week. So honestly, it's like, you know, I'm not mad at Tom for killing Timmy. I'm mad at the Bengals for failing Timmy, you know. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Steve has been around for a while. Well, so is Timmy. You know, a lot of the characters from this particular series have been around for a while. Like, he came up with like brand new characters for the South Saga and for the West Saga. But for the East Saga and the North Saga, a lot of these characters have been around for a while. Otto is, I think, pretty new, but Steve's been around for a while. A lot of these characters, like Steve and Timmy and Ed, all go back to season reaction videos he had. Otto, I think, is new. But yeah, like the South Saga and the West Saga, all had, I think, if not all Lenny, the Chiefs fan, that was an old character that he had in the reactions. But I think for the most part, those characters were all. Captain, Captain, and I forget the other Raiders fan. Yeah, so like the Raiders fans were old school. But a lot of those characters, like, you know, the Chargers fan was new, the Rams fan was new. Blanking on stuff. The Colts fan was new, like the Private Eye type of thing, that was brand new. The Jaguars fan was kind of new. The Texans fan might have been inspired, but I can't remember with the Texans fan. Because in the scripted series, the Strouds they destroyed the moon. I haven't been keeping up with that series enough, apparently. They destroyed the fucking moon. Holy shit. I don't think anybody died in the South Saga. Yeah, you might be right. I think you might be right. I think you had people join the Mafia at the end, right? But, like, nobody died. John says Bengal. Yep. We've got a whole lot of Bengal going on this postseason, unfortunately. Who's the biggest villain in any of the sagas? No bias involved. Well, it's like, you gotta say, okay, well, if we're just taking the sagas, because I was gonna say, obviously, Fear, you know, from the Coach series, obviously, is the biggest villain of the whole thing. But, I mean, probably the biggest villain has got to be Otto, right? Like, I mean, like nobody's really been as, like, obviously, like, a villain as Otto's been, right? Like, obviously Breck was a pretty shitty dude, but like he was more of a villain who just made a bunch of, like, he wasn't really a villain. He was just a guy who made a bunch of, like, really bad decisions, and like he was an asshole. But I wouldn't categorize Breck as like a true villain, you know. And other than that, like, I mean, like, the Rams character was a douchebag, but I wouldn't really categorize him as a villain, per se. And then who was in the South? I don't think any of the... Yeah, I'm like, maybe, I forget his name, but the Gumbo guy could have sort of been characterized as a villain, but not really. I don't think the South had any really true villains, you know? The Jaguars guy definitely wasn't. The Texans guy, the Reverend, he wasn't a villain. He was weird, but he wasn't a villain. So, I mean, it's easily Otto. Otto's easily the most villainous person of the entire, of all the sagas, anyway. Obviously, like, Fear is the main villain of the entire arc, but, of the sagas, it's got to be Otto. All right, CJ Stroud is going to have this getting pressured the hell and back. He's going to have to throw it away. Again, if the Texans don't get... It's the beginning of the fourth quarter. And yet, I still feel like if the Texans don't score on this drive, it's about over. They've got to get a score here. The Rams fan can go to hell for what he did. Yeah, he was a douchebag, but like I don't think he was like a complete and utter villain, you know? I think he was more of like a I'm going to get ahead type of guy, and I don't care who I step on. But I don't think he was a villain. Like yeah, like Otto's evil, you know? CJ Stroud throws, he's got Dalton Schultz, and that's about a 6-yard pickup or so. So, better than the last play. Carl, right, I forgot about Carl. Yeah, the east side. I totally forgot about Carl. And then actually, if we're talking about that, then what was it? Rocky was the one who killed Gus, right? So I mean, Rocky's probably a bit of a villain, but I don't think he's the worst villain at all. But yeah, Carl. I don't know if Carl ended up being a villain because like Carl was abusive and a douchebag, right? But I think at the end we kind of realized that Carl was like kind of cared, and like he did the stuff that he did because he like you know deep down loved his family, and that's not an excuse for what he did by any means. I just don't know if I would categorize him as like a true like hateful villain type of person, you know. I think he was more just like you know an abusive person who you know fell into bad habits, which again no excuse for that. That like a person doing that in real life is a piece of shit. I just don't know if I consider them a villain because like his motivations were that of like I'm trying to do this for others, not for myself necessarily, you know. The news told us who won the Super Bowl. Yeah, hey Zach the Potato, I haven't seen you before. What's up? I think Mark sent me something on Twitter about that. Yeah, that's funny. I don't think it's actually proof of rigging, but like yeah, that's kind of funny that they said that. But CJ Stroud's just got to like way get out of pressure, and he just throws it away. It's going to be 4th and 5, and they're going to punt. Yep, I think unless you get like a big like pick six or something from the Texans on this next defensive drive, yeah, it might be about over, guys. Might be about over for the Texans. This is shaping up to be. It was looking like it was going to be a really good game, and I'd say overall it's been a pretty good game. Definitely better than most of what we got out of the wild card. But this second half has been all Ravens. Bills fan asked for any book recommendations. The Strouds said "Goodnight Moon." All right, so the Texans, the punt is going to go down to about the 23-yard line, and maybe the 22. That's where they're going to down it at. Finn Oakley, that's what it was. Mac and Captain Finn Oakley. Yeah, both of them. Both of them are old characters. 100% Carl. I don't think Carl's the biggest villain. I think Carl might be the biggest piece of shit, but I don't think he's the biggest villain. Although, actually, no, I would still say Otto's the biggest piece of shit because, like, I mean, dude try to murder his damn son. You know, like that's not the same. Like Carl's abusive, but I think I would rather have a guy be abusive than just like a fucking like Otto was abusive too and a murderer. So I mean, like I think Otto's worse than Carl, because Carl at least had a bit of a like a spark of like at some level I think he was doing it for his family. And like he was abusive and controlling, but I think it was because he needed control. I think it's because he needed control and he felt like he knew what was best for everybody, and that's what he was doing. And that's not a good trait by any means. I just think it's better than Otto, because Otto is just a piece of absolute fucking like garbage. Like the way he treats everybody in that series. Like he's obviously become. I think Otto's the worst villain by all means. Like as far as just being a bad person, it's Otto. JB, yeah, that's what it is. JB, Gumbo is from Wienisch. Yep, JB, that's what it was. To be fair, Lewis and Rocky were manipulated by Chamas. Yeah, that's what his name was. Chamas. Fear Chamas. That's his name. So Chamas is obviously the biggest villain in the whole series. But as far as just the sagas go, I think Chamas actually did make an appearance in what was it? Was it the South Saga that Chamas made an appearance in? So or it might have been the West. It was either the South or the West where Chamas made an appearance. So technically, Chamas does appear in the sagas, and so I think then you could say Chamas is the biggest villain because Chamas is worse than all of them, you know. But then again, you could maybe also make the argument because, like, you know, we see in Coach that Chamas is doing it because he is scared for Tom, and he's trying to, like, you know. So I don't know. Maybe Otto's worse than Chamas. I'm not sure. Chamas is pretty bad though. Carl knew he was gonna die if you watch. Yeah, I know. Carl had an ego because, well, yeah, he did have an ego, but it was like he was abusive because, and it kind of comes out like, you know, he was trying to keep, you know, the family like in line and everything like that. And at the end of the day, I don't think the motivations were just like, I hate all of you and I'm spiteful and gonna be a piece of shit about it. As Justice Hill gets the ball and he just dances around. The Houston Texans cannot tackle anybody to save their lives. He picks up like 9 yards. Should have been tackled in the backfield. But yeah, Carl had an ego, and again, he was abusive, he was a piece of shit, like, no excuses, whatever. I'm just saying, compared to Otto, I think Carl's motivations were a little more, like, human, you know, like Otto's motivations, like, Otto's just a psychopath, like Carl might be a bit of a psychopath, like, at least a sociopath, you know, but, like, I mean, like, like I said, I think his motivations were a little bit more, like, personable, whereas, like, Otto's just a monster. You know, like Carl was bad, but Carl, at least, I think Carl cared. You know, like, Otto doesn't care. Otto's just a monster. John says, I follow the East Saga mostly, so I feel Carl was the villain, but you're right, he did care. That's the thing. Carl cared, and he was a bad person. I think you could say he was a villain. He's a piece of shit. Illegal shift by the Ravens, by the way. But, like, Carl, piece of shit, bad person, yeah, absolutely. Like, no excuses for Carl. But I do think he's better than Otto because, like, he at least had some semblance of humanity to him, and Otto does not. Otto's just, like, spiteful and hateful and vengeful and evil, you know? That's all Otto is. Like, there's no redeeming Otto, period. Like, at least as far as anything that we've seen so far. Maybe somehow Otto ends up getting a redemption arc. I don't see it at this point based on the way the script has gone, but yeah. Otto I think is just, like, completely irredeemable. Like Carl, at least you feel like if things had gone differently, maybe, oh my God, Lamar Jackson gets loose. On 2nd and 6, he picks up about 10 yards. But yeah, like Carl's, like, you feel like if Carl, if things had gone differently in the past with Carl, maybe if Danny hadn't left, you know, you feel like if things had gone differently, maybe Carl wouldn't have turned out to be such a bad person. Otto, I feel like, was just rotten from the start. I feel like Otto's irredeemable. And not that I want to, like, sit here and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to defend the Steelers fan, but, like, dude, Steve doesn't deserve to have a father like Otto. Like, that guy's just an absolute monster. Tom's doing the P for the D. I don't think it even matters now, Mark. I think it's pretty much over. Otto Browns, yeah. Otto's the worst. Otto's a monster. The end of the East Saga had me crying when Carl died. I hate Rocky. See, that's what I'm saying, Mikey. Like, you know, Carl ended up being a bit of a sympathetic figure by the end. And I'm not gonna say he's redeemed because he was abusive. He was a piece of shit. You know, that, you can come back from that, but I don't feel like Carl did enough to come back from it. He didn't really ever express remorse for being bad. He expressed, you know, maybe he expressed that he has a bone of caring in his body, but I think it takes a little bit more than that to be redeemed for the actions he took, you know? But Otto doesn't even have that on his side. Chamas in the East and West. Oh, was it the East and West? I thought he showed up in, like, the South. I'm almost positive he showed up in the South, now that I think about it. Like, didn't he show up to the Colts fan or something like that? I forget. I don't know. But I think you're right. He did show up in the East. He showed up to Rocky and kind of manipulated Rocky into doing all that stuff. Which again is why I'm not even considering Rocky to be a part of the conversation, because like Rocky did some terrible things, but Rocky was manipulated by an even worse villain. So he like, you know, like any evil that Rocky did is like at least partially the responsibleness of a different villain who has other evil things that they've done. So like by definition, Rocky can't be as bad as that guy, because that guy is, you know, at least entirely involved in, if not, he's not entirely responsible, because it's everybody's responsibility to, you know, make their own decisions. But Rocky, I definitely think, you know, can't be as evil as Chamas, because Chamas is the one who manipulated him into doing it. Agree about Mark and Carl in Super Bowls. Yeah, I do think Carl had an ego. I think Carl had a lot of stuff going on, but I don't think Carl was wholly evil is the thing. I think he did a lot of evil things, but he wasn't wholly evil. I think Otto might be wholly evil though. Like I think Otto might be just completely gone as far as redeemability. Was Dolphins Dan a villain, not Danny, the other one a villain for leaving? Yeah, that's what. Yeah, I'm sorry, not Danny. But that's what I meant earlier. Like maybe Dan's a little bit of a, not a villain. He's not a villain. He's, you know, he left. We also don't even, to the best of my knowledge, we don't know entirely why he left. Right? Like, do we have? Like, I can't remember. Did we ever find out why Dan left? Like, you know, Papa Dolphin or whatever. Did we ever find out why he left? Because like, I mean, we don't know why he left. I mean, like, you know, I can't imagine there was a great reason for leaving, you know, a bunch of children and leaving Carl in charge for that matter. But was it because he's a piece of shit, or was it because something came up and he had to leave or something like that, you know? Love when Carl attacked Bruce and Bruce says I peed. Yeah, it was funny. What about Ed, aka Papa Cacaw? No, he's not I don't think Papa Cacaw is a villain. I think he did some terrible things. And I root against the guy. Texans, I think the Texans have just given up at this point. Big run by Justice Hill. Yeah, I think the Texans have pretty much just given up at this point. This game's just about over, and we got like 10 minutes left to go. Oh man, this is bad. This is bad. The Texans, I said this was the Texans' game to lose, and boy, did they take me up on the challenge. The Texans, this could have been, you know, the Texans had a chance at this one, but they just shit the bed in the second half. Where are we at? Danny is the dad, Dolphins' dad, or the other one? No, Danny is the son of the Dolphins' dad. He's like the one who wears the sunglasses. That's Danny. And then Dan is the one who just wears the regular glasses in the polo. But yeah, Ed's not a villain. Ed's Ed's dumb and did some bad things to, like, you know, I'd really love to find out why Timmy isn't willing to forgive Ed. I would like to figure out why Timmy's not willing to forgive Ed. Because, like, yeah, he kicked him out, you know, and obviously that's a big, terrible thing and everything like that. But I feel like the fact that Ed has tried so hard, you know, oh my God. Number 30, I don't even know who that is. Number 31 of the Ravens. He just busts off a big run, like 15 yards. Yeah, the Texans have given up, guys. It's over. Yeah, I don't 100% know why Timmy wasn't willing to forgive Ed. So there's got to be something else there as to why, like, Ed, like Timmy just never wanted to forgive Ed, despite how hard Ed was trying. So I don't know everything that Ed did, but I don't think Ed counts as a villain because, like, I like Ed, you know, I think Ed's dumb and, like, emotional and rash and stuff like that. But I don't think he's a villain at all. All right, number 31, once again, taking the handoff, picks up about 6 yards there. Have I ever seen Joe Burrow throw deep? Ducks asks. What? Yeah. Yes, I've seen Joe Burrow throw deep. What? Yeah, he throws deep all the time. You know? I mean, he doesn't have the strongest arm in the NFL, but he definitely has thrown plenty of deep passes. I'm confused about that. Gus. I don't think Gus was a villain. I think Gus was not the best, but I don't think he was a villain. I love JB. Yeah, JB's funny. All right, it's going to be another handoff to 31, and the Texans swallow him up behind the line. Where the hell was the rest of this drive? Hate Otto. Yeah, Otto sucks. Otto sucks. Sebastian was the prototypical Florida man. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He was a very funny character. He left to help him protect his family. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Mikey. Yeah, I felt like I remembered the reason that Dan left was for a reason like that, right? By the way, fun fact, it took me forever to figure out that Danny and Dan were different people when I was watching that series for the first couple of times. Eventually, I was like, oh, those are two different people. Oh! Lamar Jackson shotgun snap. He's going to throw it. Oh, my God. Busted tackle there. Zay Flowers gets it down to the 13. This one's about over, guys. 7:18 left to go, and the Ravens are knocking on the door again. Bruce Springsteen drove him... because Springsteen drove him up the wall. Yep. Because... Yeah, okay. Was that really the reason, though? Like, that's why they said that, but is that really the reason why Springsteen drove him up the wall, though? I know that's, like, why I think Carl said that to Springsteen, but I think Carl just said that to make Springsteen feel bad, you know? I think it was part of his whole, like, control moniker. Like, you know, he left me in charge because you suck, essentially. Is essentially, that was his whole thing. Wildflower or Grandpa Cardinal, are they villains? No, Wildflower's not a villain. Wildflower's unstable. Wildflower, I think, is mentally unhealthy and does some bad, terrible things. Like, you know, he's a murderer. I don't think he's a villain, though, because I don't think he does it out of evilness. I think he does it out of, you know, he's obviously got some sort of major mental malfunction going on, and I don't think that makes him evil. I think that makes him of unsound mind. I think if he didn't have whatever brain damage he's got, he probably wouldn't be making those decisions, you know? And you can tell, too, because whenever he does anything like that, he does it thinking that he's, like, being a good guy, too. So I don't think he's a villain because of that. But then again, sometimes the villains think they're the good guys. Look at Thanos. Who's smarter, Ed or Wildflower? I think Wildflower is really smart. I think Wildflower is calculating. I think he puts on this facade of being like this, like, you know, dumb, happy-go-lucky hippie. But I think inside he's like a machine, you know. And then Grandpa Cardinal. I don't think Grandpa Cardinal was a villain. I think Grandpa Cardinal was focused, I don't think he was ever a villain. Like his whole arc, like Grandpa Cardinal's whole character arc was just like, I want to see my grandson, you know. And he didn't ever do anything, I think, particularly wrong to anybody, you know. I mean, he was competitive, but I don't think he was a villain. All right, Lamar Jackson's gonna take the handoff himself, and he's just gonna get loose for a fucking God damn it. Yeah, all right, this is about over. This is starting to turn into a blowout. 30-10 Ravens. All right, well. Jim says, I told you the Ravens would win this game. Well, that's fair enough. Based off of the information I had at the time, Jim, I thought the Texans just needed to, like, put a few things together and they could potentially turn it around and win this game. But they came out of the second half completely flat. They came out completely not ready. The Ravens clearly are the only ones who made real halftime adjustments. So that was pretty much it. I'm not seeing anything out of this that makes me think, oh, the Ravens are like the Super Bowl favorites. But boy, I definitely tell you next week they could be tough to stop if the Bills or Chiefs, whoever it is, doesn't bring their A game. The Ravens do look a little scary right now, but at the same time, I also think they look pretty vulnerable too. It's just the Texans were completely unable to take advantage of that vulnerability. Let's see. Anger is worse than Chamas. Who was Anger? Who was Anger? Because like Ambition was you could maybe argue that Ambition was evil. But, like a villain, maybe. But who's anger? Is there somebody whose like emotion is anger? I can't quite remember, but I don't remember anybody being angry. Because, like, the Lions fan is depression, right? And then... Well, no. The Lions fan is, like, some sort of childlike thing. And then there's a whole other thing, which is depression or something like that. But there's ambition. Ambition's not anger, though. Like, the one that says fear isn't real. The guy who wears that shirt, that's ambition, not anger. Didn't think a team with a rookie quarterback who did shit the last 2 years would win on the road. Yeah, I don't know. I thought the Texans had more momentum than the Ravens, but again, it's really hard to put a peg on the Ravens this year because, like, again, at halftime, it looked like the Ravens were really vulnerable, but the second half, just give them all the credit in the world for getting it done. I was confused. It's Joe who was the father. Oh, was that his name? Was his name Joe? I thought it was... Yeah, you might be right. It might have been Joe. My dad's name is Joe. Fun fact. A pigeon without a briefcase is just a bird. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. That was a Wildflower quote. I remember that now. Yeah, that was a pretty weird thing to say. Anger was never given a name. Again, I don't remember there being an anger. Anger had that strange mask. Oh, that was anger. Oh, okay. I see now. I see what you're saying. Okay, I didn't realize that was. I thought that was the blood demon, honestly. I didn't realize that was like a fully fledged, like, separate character, you know? Zach says, who think the news called the NFL Super Bowl? I don't. I think it's a silly headline, but it's kind of fun to talk about, but no, I think that's silly. Because I don't think the 49ers are going to make it. And I don't think the Ravens are going to make it either. I think... You know, I said this before, but I think whoever wins between the Bills and the Chiefs, that's who's going to the Super Bowl in the AFC. And I think it's going to be the Bills, but it could be the Chiefs. Who would I rather see go to the Super Bowl between the Ravens and the Chiefs, though? I think I'd rather see the Ravens. I think I'd rather see the Ravens than the Chiefs. And that would be a tough one. It's like when the Ravens played the 49ers in the Super Bowl back in 2012. I didn't want to see anybody win, but I had to root for somebody, so I guess I rooted for the Ravens just to spite the 49ers. But, yeah, that would be a rough situation if we got a Ravens-Chiefs AFC Championship. Ugh. I don't want that. I don't want to live in that world. What about Vince, Randall, Lions fans, and Bears fans? Can't think of their names. Yeah, Randall was depression, right? Vince, I don't think Vince is a villain. I think Vince is, you know, once again, I think Vince is competitive and, you know, he's I mean, maybe kind of abusive, but I mean, I don't really see the NFC North as a family as much, you know, the East is clearly a family. I don't see the NFC North as a family. So I think Vince is just competitive. I don't know if he's quite a villain. I think he's made some bad decisions. I don't know if he's quite a villain. And if you do categorize Vince as a villain, he's definitely not as bad as Otto. They got who sing in the Super Bowl, right? They got Usher, right? They got Usher to sing in the Super Bowl. I think the Who did that Ravens Super Bowl. I remember the Who played one year. There's a challenge on the field. Ball carrier down by contact, I guess. I don't even. Dude, this game's over. Like this game, I don't even know what the Texans are challenging anymore. This game's over. The Texans gave up in the fourth quarter. They really did. Like the Texans defense straight up gave up in the fourth quarter. It was kind of sad to watch because like it was looking like we were going to get a really good game, and I would still overall say it was a pretty good game. It's just it didn't finish good. It finished we had a competitive game, and then it's looking like it's just going to end in a blowout. By the way, the score is 31-10. I need to update that. All right, Stroud takes the shotgun snap on 1st and 10. He's going to roll all the way back. He's getting bullied by the Ravens, and he just has to throw it out of bounds. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. NFC North debate a few years ago was a good video. Yeah, I remember that one. That was a pretty good video. Who do you think the Blood Demon put the North? Why do you think the Blood Demon put the North Saga in the bubble? Probably because of anger, Mark. Because from what I understand, all of this is going to tie back together with the final season of Coach. I believe that Tom Grossi's like merging both of those things. So I think it's probably because of anger. And the Mafia, and it's probably a lot of things related to that. Mikey says, I'm in the bathroom doing what the Texans are doing. No, you're not. No, you're not, because the Texans are shitting the bed. Unless your bed is in your bathroom, you're not doing what the Texans are doing, Mikey. And they're holding on the Texans. 2 different instances of holding on the Texans on that play. Oh, man. Yeah, the Texans totally shit the bed, guys. Like, I mean, credit to the Ravens for staying consistent, but the Texans totally shit the bed in the second half here. Which is crazy, because CJ Stroud didn't throw any, like, they didn't turn the ball over at all. They just completely fell apart. Let's see. John says, East is family, AFC North is family. I think every other is just strangers got picked for the season. That's right, the AFC North is family, right? But, like, the NFC North was not family. Mark says, anger killed most of the Mafia characters. Oh, did he? Oh, I must have forgotten about that one. Zach says, not like the Ravens hold every time. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I think the Texans have just completely fallen apart, personally. Mark says, if not all of them. All right, well. Now, there's another flag on the play as CJ Stroud throws an incomplete pass. Anger killed most of the Mafia characters. Yep. Panthers character was concerned about rent. Yeah, I remember that. One of the least impactful characters of the entire series, which makes sense because the Panthers are one of the least impactful teams in the entire NFL. Period. So that was honestly probably a well done thing. Luke might have been Luke. I personally hate Rocky and Otto the most. I don't hate Rocky, like. Yeah, I don't kind of. Like Rocky's kind of a villain, but Otto is the worst. Otto is absolutely the worst. It was Greg. Yeah, it was Greg, because they kept calling him Craig. And he was like, my name's not Craig! And that was like his whole character, because the Panthers are just so irrelevant that nobody even knows how to say the character's name correctly. Why can't anybody say my name? And then eventually he just started like answering to Craig because he's just like, I don't care anymore. I like when JB said, hey, fought. Hey, fought. What you doing over there, fought? As an incomplete pass on 4th and 6, the Ravens are going to take over with 5 minutes left in the game. And yeah, this one's. I've been saying pretty much over all quarter. I'm about as far as to say this one is over, but I guess it's not, because technically anything could happen. We luck CJ did get injured. Did CJ Stroud get injured? I don't think it matters, because like that doesn't help. If CJ Stroud's been injured today, it definitely doesn't help. But it's like the way the Texans defense played, it's like I don't think it would have mattered if the Texans offense, like in the second half. Obviously, the Texans defense did a good job in the first half, but the second half, I don't think it matters how good the Texans offense plays because, the Ravens have just kind of been doing whatever they want. I said that I didn't think either team gets to 30 in the first half, but the Texans defense fell the fuck apart in the second half. Fought for bought. Yeah, the Atlanta guy had the headphones. I remember that. Remember when they had the therapy session for Greg? I do, and they were trying to, they basically just gaslighted the fuck out of the guy. Like, you always asking about rent, and that was funny. Jim says so much for that pick. Said Ravens would get the home win. Yeah, no, I was definitely wrong about this one. Definitely was wrong. I said this was the Texans' game to lose, and boy, did they lose it. Boy, did they lose it. They shit the bed in the second half. Now go Bills? Absolutely, Jim. Absolutely go Bills. I don't know if I can handle the Ravens in the because the Ravens are apparently going to be in the AFC Championship now. I don't know if I can handle the Ravens in the Super Bowl though. How flag do the Ravens have then? Oh, how Zach? You probably work on your typing skills a little bit there, buddy. How many flags do the Ravens have over the Texans? I think is what you're saying there. I don't know. It's gotta be remarkable, like a vast difference. I don't know. Let me see if I can find it here without turning the game off. Live score and tracker from the Athletic, maybe? Nope, it's behind a paywall. I don't know, but I know the Texans have just been shit in the bed in terms of like getting penalties all over the place, man. Ooh, I am hungry. I'm actually kind of glad this game's gonna be over soon because I could use some dinner. Justice Hill takes the ball on 3rd and 5. He does not get the first down, and the Texans are like, hey, we got a 4th down stop. Great. Where was that the rest of the game? I hope Tom continues it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what Tom's going to do after the series is over because, like, I mean, he's going to have to replace it with something, you'd think. Like, I mean, you know, we know he loves doing the channel, so he's not just going to, like, let the channel, like, he's not going to retire or anything. Like, I don't know. I'm sure he'll come up with like a new series or something that he's gonna like. I mean, he might just like make the scripted series into more of a thing, you know? Like he might double down on that. I could see him doing that actually. On 4th down, the Ravens go for it and they pick it up because fuck the Texans. That's basically just the result, honestly. Here, just I think they don't care about the field goal. I think they're basically just like we're gonna try to keep the clock moving to get this game over with. And honestly, I kind of agree at this point. I'm hungry. I want to go eat, and let's just be done with this game. I wish he could do all 30 like in one season. I know each week 32 fans would be a lot. Well, he also does every fan's reaction. He has that series. It's not quite as characterized as his other series, but you know he does have that series. You know, there's the every fan's reaction videos. I've been thinking about doing something somewhat similar, but I don't quite have enough of a concept in mind. But that might be something in the future. You know, on this channel, I do something. Maybe not what Tom's doing because I don't want to just do stuff that Tom does. You know, but maybe do something like inspired by, you know, that kind of concept of like being more creative with characters and NFL fans and stuff like that. I've definitely thought about like I might actually, since I have this new computer and everything, I might actually do like a Bengals fan reaction to the 2020 season. Might not be great timing right now, but you know I'm thinking about doing that. So, would you guys be interested if I made like a Bengals fan reacts to the 2024 or 2023 NFL season, kind of in like the style that Tom Grossi does, like, you know, like basically just reacting to each game as it kind of goes by. Do you guys think that would be fun? I might do that just to see if I, see if I can flex my writing chops a little bit on that. John says yes, so there you go, John. Maybe I might do that. I don't know. Tom with the weekly reaction killed Bengals fan Tim. That he did. He did. I was very sad when he did that. If anyone can do it, Tom Grossi can. Yeah. I know he could, but that would be a lot though. I think there's something about a rookie quarterback house. I don't know. That'd be interesting. He should use the characters as the fan reactions. He should. I think he should. I think he should do entirely. Since he's got all 32 teams now, he's got a character for all 32 teams. I agree. I think he should do reactions based off of those characters. I think he definitely should do that. Mikey says, I started an NFL scripted series after week 1, but when Tom started to do one, I let him have it. And, well, honestly, Mikey, I don't know. I don't think Tom... I don't think you should let Tom have anything, because I think he's a gigantic channel, and, you know... Like he doesn't need you to let him have it, but at the same time, I can also understand from your time perspective. It might be kind of useless to do like an NFL scripted series if Tom Grossi's also doing it, and then if you're just trying to compete with him every week, you're not going to be very successful. And that's why, for the most part, I kind of tried not to. Like, I'm a big Tom Grossi fan. Obviously, a huge portion of my subscriber base is Tom Grossi fans. But that's why I try not to do too much content that is just basically what Tom Grossi does. Is because, like, I don't... First of all, I don't want to compete with Tom Grossi because, like, he's already got, like this huge following. Trying to compete with Tom Grossi feels like channel suicide, honestly. And then on top of that, I also kind of want to do my own thing. Like, I don't want to just, like, steal somebody else's ideas and stuff like that. But I might do some, I might do some stuff inspired by him. John says Kyle is better than Tom, and I appreciate that, John. I don't, like I said, I don't want to compete with Tom. I'm a big fan of his. Big reason why I started my channel was inspired by him. Not entirely. I started my channel mainly because I just needed an outlet for talking about the Bengals, and the Battle of Ohio podcast wasn't quite enough because I had to do a lot of Browns research, and I wanted to, I wanted just like, if I want to put out a Bengals video, I want to put out a Bengals video without having to consider another team, you know? Now I'm a little bit more NFL in general. But I mean, really, the whole reason I started the channel was because, like, you know, I wanted to expand a little bit beyond the Battle of Ohio podcast because, like, I wanted to, like, I love Thomas. I love riffing with Thomas. But at the same time, I kind of wanted to do, like, my own thing. I'm going to go ahead and put that there. I wanted to do my own thing. And not really just kind of have to plan around a bunch of other stuff. I had a lot of creative ideas that I didn't feel like really fit with the Battle of Ohio podcast. So that's the main reason why I started doing this channel. But Tom definitely inspired me to do the like these live streams, like with the scoreboard and the Bengals games and everything like that. That was definitely a massive inspiration from Tom Grossi to do that. So, yeah, and then a lot of the way that I've like run my channel is basically based off of like little snippets of advice I've gotten from him over the years. Of like when he does like the Q&As and stuff, and he's saying like, you know, looks like the Ravens are going for a field goal here. With 2 minutes left to go in the game, I really don't care. 43-yard field goal attempt for Justin Tucker. I'm sure he's going to get it. You know, I'm sure I also don't care. All right, kick is up, and that's good. All right, it's 34-10. Texans just fell the fuck apart, dude. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, these live streams. That was definitely inspired by Tom Grossi. And a lot of the way I run my channel is inspired by Tom Grossi. Like, you know, a lot of my content is really, I try to have as much of my content be my own content as I can. But a lot of the way I run things is inspired by him just because, like, you know, like, I mean, I'm trying to emulate somebody who's already been successful. You know, it's a good business strategy. If you want to be successful in business, you know, finding out what other people have done to be successful in that business is a good way to do it. And like I said, I want to do my own thing as a creative. I want to, you know, have my own artistic integrity and do my own thing. But at the same time, like from a business standpoint, yeah, I'm definitely emulating Tom Grossi a lot and stuff that he does because, you know, I mean, he cracked the formula. And if I'm going to crack the formula, I'd, you know, do what he did and maybe I might be successful too. I don't know. Let's see. No characters should die in the Grossi saga, I feel like. I don't know. I don't agree with that, John. I think having dynamicism, I think it's good, especially because his series is based off of like, you know, like old school soap operas. So like, I mean, if you're gonna base it off of stuff like that, you pretty much like you gotta kill characters. Like you can't have something that's, hey, the Ravens muffed a field goal, or like a kick. Not that it matters. Again, it's 24-10 with 1:50 left. So even if the Texans do recover this, There's the kickoff they muffed. But again, it's 34-10. It's like, it's not going to matter. I think they gave it to the Ravens, though. Oh, it was the Texans who muffed the punt. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not even paying half damn attention here. Mike, you gonna make a Saints fan reaction video? That's fair enough. I'll make a Bengals fan reaction video, and I'm not gonna do like every team like Tom does, because like I said, I'm not trying to necessarily compete with Tom. But I mean, if I can come up with some interesting spins on it, like with my own creative ideas, I might do something like that. But yeah, Bengals fan reaction. That sounds like something that might be fun for me to do, just because I am a Bengals fan, and I can have my own personal style on it. Gus, Carl, Frederick, Tim, Gavin. Who the fuck was Gavin? Jerry, Eugene were all killed in GCU. Tom is so big, I don't watch and comment in his lives. He won't ever see it. Yeah, fair enough. I don't really comment a whole lot in Tom's live chats. I do. I have a membership to his channel, so every once in a while I'll send him like I get a free membership milestone chat. Like with my membership, I get that like once a month. So sometimes I'll show up and I'll send him like some sort of thing and just see his reaction to whatever I have to say in the moment. And I'll do that. But yeah, I don't really comment too much in his chat because like nobody's gonna see it. Like he's not only is he not gonna see it, but it's very unlikely anybody in the chat's even gonna see it. So yeah, I don't really bother with Tom's chat just because I love that he's been as successful as he's been, but he's too big at this point to pay attention to like individual like commenters and stuff like that, especially people who aren't like his like regulars, like the people who like have been there since like basically the beginning and also like send him things and have like existing relationships with him and stuff like that. So I mean, if you're not already in his circle, you're not getting in his circle. So I mean, and that's fine, I'm glad he's had success, but I can definitely see how it's like kind of not so fun. It's like he puts out great content, but interacting with the community is difficult when you just feel like you're getting lost in a sea. So, you won't get that with my channel, at least you won't now. Actually, none of y'all are really ever going to get that. Like you, like Jim, John, Mikey, maybe even you, Zach. Just because, you're here early enough. The people who are regulars, like Majestic, people who are regulars in my chat, if I do ever get big, y'all will be in my circle. I'll remember you guys, I promise you that. But there will probably be a point where there's going to be like any new people who are going to come in are, maybe they can be part of the community, but it's going to be really hard for them to reach out to me personally. And I'm always going to try, because I feel like that's a big part of what I like about YouTube is like it's so like it brings the creator to the person. So I think I'm always going to try to have some sort of like interaction like that, but it is going to be like if I ever do get to like his level or something like that, it would be really hard to keep up with things. All right. So, the game's over now. Cool. That was interesting. So the game is over now and the Ravens win 34-10. Texans just absolutely shit the bed in the second half. Felt really like, trying to watch the Bengals win a playoff game back in the day. So that was a thing. Okay. I just watch his videos. Yeah, I watch his videos. And like I said, I subscribe to his channel too, just because like he doesn't need my money, but I feel like, I'm in the position I am in my life right now. I have a direction in my life, partially because he inspired me to make the jump and do it. So I just want to, give back, and it only costs like $1 a month or something like that. So, I'll throw it his way. Okay, let me see. I'm going to catch up to some of these other comments, and then I'm going to go eat because I'm starving, guys. You could do a what if series starting with a double doink. Actually, Mark, you can, actually, that is a series I kind of already am doing. I've only made one video so far, but that actually is a series I'm planning on doing, like a what if series. The video I have out right now is like what if Carson Palmer didn't get hurt in the 2005 playoffs. But yeah, I could do some more recent ones, like, what if the double doink didn't happen? What if, one that'll make Mikey happy, I could do, what if the Rams get flagged for pass interference in that championship game? Like, what happens with the Saints, So yeah, I mean, I could definitely do stuff like that. I've got a few different series in mind. Like I said, my sister's girlfriend had the idea of like sending me like questions of people who were just getting into football, partially because of Taylor Swift, and so the series could be like questions from my from my wife's girl. I don't even know how I would like what the actual title would be, because that's a very long-winded title, right? But like and I don't want to make it questions from a woman, because that's kind of misogynistic, but but definitely like questions for newbies or something, like what does a first down mean? And I'd explain that in the video, and people who are just getting into it because of whatever reason can watch those videos, and it's fun. And really, I don't think anybody's doing that on a large scale. Like you've got like the Brett Colemans who are explaining like big concepts, right? Like high level type of, not high level, but highly complicated stuff. But you don't really have anybody out here like explaining like what's a first down, what's a like what does turf mean, what is like one of the questions from earlier, like why do they hand the ball off on most of the first downs, just simple questions like that. So there's a couple different series I have in mind that I'm planning on doing when I can eventually sit down and take the time to do it. But yeah, I think I might do like a Bengals fan reacts to the 2024 season type of thing. That might be fun. It kind of stretch my creative brain a little bit, Mark, I can tell you the last what if. Yeah, I'm currently kind of planning a what if, kind of in the process of a what if series already. Don't like violence, don't like guns. Well, I wouldn't watch Tom's series then, because there's probably going to be more guns. Even though I know it's fake, it's still sad when the characters die. Yeah. Gavin's Seattle. That's right. Gavin was the Seattle guy. I remember that now. Even though I know it's fake, I already said that. How do you put words on the screen? So Mikey, I'm using a software called OBS. It's a streaming software that I put on my desktop, and so this, what you're seeing right now, this overlay is actually just an overlay that I created in Photoshop. So I actually can't edit most of this overlay. What I can edit is these couple of things I put on here, which is just but yeah, so these scores, I basically just put like some there's like a text feature you can put on OBS, and I just add it and I update it over the course of the thing. But like this overlay you have here, so like my scoreboard, and then my my footer down here, and the prediction and everything, I make all that in Photoshop ahead of the game, so I can't edit it. But yeah, that's just an image that I overlay over the whole thing. I have an overlay for the Battle of Ohio podcast. It's not as dynamic as this one. But again, most of this stuff I can't edit in the middle. And I probably could make it so that I can edit for OBS. Might optimize it so I can do stuff for OBS. But at the same time, like, what would be the point of being able to edit the prediction midstream? I want to put it out there, like, this is what the prediction was. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Obviously, I was very wrong in this one. The Texans shit the bed. And the Ravens ended up getting over 30 points, which I didn't think was going to happen in the first half. I thought I was going to be wrong because it was going to be a very defensive game, and not in the second half it wasn't. He's way too big. Yeah, well, I'm happy for him that he's big, though. He's worked really hard to get there, and, I hope to be that big one day, too. I don't know if I ever will be, but I hope to be that big one day. But if I am, trust me, I will remember people like you and Mikey for being part of my channel, and Jim and all y'all. You, Mark, you probably too, and Bacon Man, and a lot of y'all people who've been with me not since the beginning. The only person who was really with me since the beginning was the guy who I had to ban, and that was unfortunate. But y'all haven't been with me since like the beginning, but y'all have been with me like pretty early in this channel's history, right? So like I'm always gonna remember that, even if I'm like 10 years in the future, if I've got like 1 million subscribers, I'm still gonna like remember like all y'all. Like, yeah, I'm definitely hoping to really foster the creative, like environment, not environment, like the creative community environment that we have here. That thing I said about the website, that is still happening. It's just taking a little bit longer than I anticipated, just because a lot of stuff that happened over break. My car exploded, essentially. So just so y'all know the kind of the stuff I've been dealing with. Yeah, that stuff with the community and stuff on the website and everything like that, that is still happening. It just had to get pushed back a little bit. Let's see. Gavin wasn't killed. He got voted out. Yeah, he didn't get killed. I forgot what his name was. And I was trying to think, was he a villain or not? But no, he wasn't. That's why I say Kyle Phelps is better than Tom Grossi. Well, thank you. But again, I hope to be that big one day too. So hopefully you don't think that I'm no fun anymore when we get to that level. Mike Anger killed Gavin. Oh, did he? I don't remember that. Kyle, you inspired me to do comments of the video. I remember. Yeah. Well, I'm glad I inspired you, Mikey. That's kind of what it's all about, because the community aspect, giving back, and all that stuff. Found out Tom Grossi because of that Bears playoff double doink. Yeah, I found out about Tom Grossi because of Zach Schaumler, actually. Strong Opinion Sports, it's like a podcast. He does more of a serious type of thing. But I guess he really liked Tom Grossi and actually developed a bit of a connection with him. And they had each other, well, Zach at least had Tom on his show. And he was talking about the reaction videos, and I went and looked it up. I'm like, dude, this guy's awesome. So I found Tom Grossi through Zach Schaumler back in the day. Why, when we go for 2 after a touchdown? I mean, yeah, that's another question I could ask, or I could answer on the thing. Like why do people do that? Well, it's because of this. Lately, it's because of analytics, but sometimes it's just because you need to. What if the Bengals jumped to 9 to draft Patrick Mahomes? Well, they wouldn't have done that. I mean, I could potentially make that video, but I don't ever think there's no way they would have ever done that. So, I mean, I could do that video, just been, if I do a very, a lot of videos, like alternate history hub, if I do something like that and I just have a ton of videos and I'm running out of ideas, I might do something like, well, what if the Bengals drafted Patrick Mahomes? But the reality of the matter is the Bengals never would have drafted Patrick Mahomes. Back then, Andy Dalton was still the guy. They were still trying to make things work with Andy Dalton. There's no way they would have traded up. The idea of them drafting a quarterback at all was pretty wild. But jumping up to 9 to draft Mahomes, there's no way. And also, once again, don't forget that Patrick Mahomes was widely viewed as a project quarterback back then. When the Chiefs jumped up to 9 to take Patrick Mahomes, people were kind of surprised. They were like, dude, Patrick Mahomes, I honestly thought Patrick Mahomes might end up getting drafted in the 2nd round at the time. A lot of people were not totally sold on Patrick Mahomes based off of his college career. So the fact that the Chiefs jumped up to 9 to get him was seen as kind of a crazy shot at the time. A lot of people criticized the Chiefs for making that move, including a lot of Chiefs fans, by the way, because I actually saw in a Facebook post, I saw a memory of the Chiefs posting with the number 9 selection we have drafted Patrick Mahomes, and Chiefs fans went off in the comments. They're like, oh god, we drafted a bust and it's gonna be terrible and blah 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 blah, and it's just hilarious going through that. Oh god, people overreacting. It happens in every fan base. Don't watch the end of the saga. Don't think I'll watch the AFC North saga anymore. Tom will probably playoff loss equals death. I just wish he would have them leave the house and go back home. Well, not necessarily, John. Not all of the characters die when they lose in the playoffs. But again, you got to remember, he's basing it off of soap operas. So the fact that the characters die, that's just that's just the way they do it in the soap operas. It's just the concept. It's the style that he's going for, and I don't mind personally. But if you don't like it, that's fair. But like, I mean, I think it's kind of funny, you know, especially again since they're characters. I mean, like, it's not like people are really dying. Oh no, that sounds bad. Car go boom, as Wildflower would say. Yep. Would still be sad, but at least it's normal life. Well, yeah, but dude, sad stuff happens all the time. Like, again, it's a show. Like, I mean, you can't just have happy stuff happen the whole time. Like, I mean, it would be a boring show if it was just all happy all the time. Mikey says, Kyle, I'm back. Did you answer my word question? What word question? Oh, yeah, no, I did actually. So if you had left. But what that is so I use this software called OBS. I don't know. Like, you stream off your phone, I think. I don't know if OBS works for the phone. But if you have a desktop computer and you want to stream from that, I use this software called OBS, and it lets you stream. It's complicated. It's a bit of a learning curve, but if you sit down and learn it, you can learn it. And so for this background here, not this background, but this overlay, most of it, this is just an image I made in Photoshop, and it's a dynamic image, and I saved the Photoshop file so I can go through and edit it for each game. But like I don't actually have the ability to edit most of this stuff. Like all the stuff at the bottom, I don't have the ability to edit this stuff like in the middle of the stream, right? This is just an image that I'm overlaying over my face, and it's got like a transparent middle so you can still see my face. But like these numbers and like the quarter thing, like that at the top, that's actually obviously, as you know, I can change that in OBS, and I can change these scores, and that's just a text overlay that OBS lets you do over top of the thing. So that's all that the words are. Most of this is not stuff that's editable, but the thing at the top is. Hey, thank you. All right, but anyway. Talking fan reaction, you know how Tom puts it, week 1, whoever wins or loses. Fair enough. But anyway, y'all, I'm hungry. That game, that was a very disappointing second half. Not just because the team I wanted to win, or well, I guess the team I wanted to lose didn't lose, but also just because it was just not really competitive in the second half. So, the first half really kind of felt like, something that we were hoping to see in these playoffs, and the second half just wasn't. What if the Texans traded Deshaun Watson in 2020? Well, I feel like that'd be a very similar scenario to what you have now. I don't know, Mark. But yeah, I mean, these are all ideas I could look at. I mean, if you want to send me more ideas about like what if series, absolutely, by all means, I'll consider anything. And even if I don't go with your idea exactly, it might inspire me to another idea that I'll use. Or T if the game ended in a tie. Yeah, so just, send me ideas, and whether I use that exact idea or not, I might use something similar. And if I do, I'll credit you in the video. I'll say in the video, like, hey, this idea was, either given to me or inspired by an idea by this, that, or the other, if you send me ideas, whether, I might use them. I really genuinely might use them. And a what if series is definitely something that I've had in the works for a while. So might do that, especially this offseason. Might do that more. Probably won't do that until the offseason though, because I do kind of want to focus on the playoffs before we get past the playoffs. But yeah, we'll get there eventually. Do the Battlehawks exist with the Rams in St. Louis? No, they don't, John. The Battlehawks don't exist with the Rams in St. Louis. I think, I don't think St. Louis would have got. I think the whole reason St. Louis got an XFL team is because, they were rabid for football after the Rams screwed them over. Almost certainly the Battlehawks don't exist if the Rams are still in St. Louis. But anyway, I'm legitimately heading out of here. So I appreciate y'all showing up. Check me out on the other social medias down below. Haven't been terribly active on TikTok lately, but I'm trying, man. But yeah, I'll be back probably. I'm not committing to this for sure because I do have a lot of homework I got to get done, so I don't know for sure. I'll try to be back tomorrow for the Chiefs-Bills game, but other than that, I'll leave y'all, as always, with a hoot-ay!